is back in the squad. Harry Maguire has got a recall as well. The other defenders, Burn, Gahey, Hall, Konsa, Livramento, O'Reilly and Jed Spence of Tottenham Hotspur. The midfielders that have been called into the squad include James Garner, who gets a call up for the first time to the England senior squad, Anderson, Bellingham, Henderson, Mainu, who's back in after some good performances under Michael Carrick. We'll see him tonight live.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go.
Difficult place to go.
Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Do you know, Sean, I always vowed I'd never get to that bit where the saxophone came in. I always vowed I'd never get there, Ray.
We've always
Brazil.
12 inches.
for itself.
That's why
I came in one time, a band. I came in one time, a band were playing the comment. A very, very, very good morning to one and all. This, as you can hear, is talkSPORT Breakfast. What date is? I'll tell you then. It's Monday, March the 23rd. And joining me in the studio this morning is one and only Ray Parlour. Ray, a very good morning.
Ali, how are you, mate?
Do you know something buzzing, mate? A great weekend, sport, kids, family, everything was going on. What about yourself, mate?
Yeah, now, similar, a little bit similar. We was on the show Friday with Adrian Durham.
I heard that, was listening in, pal.
Yeah, and then we had a nice easy Saturday. And again, watching football, watched the games in the morning. And yesterday, it was all football yesterday. It was a great Sunday, really, wasn't it? I mean, some of the games on. How they staggered the games as well. 12 o'clock, the North East Derby. Then obviously 2:15, 2 games, West Ham, some big relegation games. And then obviously my game I went to was the one we're watching there, Carabao Cup final, which was disappointing in being an Arsenal fan. But Man City were very good the second half. I thought they really dominated the game. They deserved They deserved the win. There's no doubt about that.
They did. They played well, mate. I was never moved on the couch. I got a phone call from my big boy. They'd lost all their golf balls, so to drive up.
Did they?
Aye. 4 of them playing. He said, we've run out of balls.
How many taking over there?
So I've no idea, but I had to get about 10 balls. I didn't even get changed. My shorts on, put on a pair of trainers, drove up to the 8th or whatever it was. Excuse me.
That's unbelievable, that
Gave him my golf balls, get back in. I just watched the football, watched Times Weird Derby.
Yeah.
And I watched, what else? I watched the last.
I was listening to that because we was in the car going to the final. But it sounded, the first half, it sounded all Newcastle.
Newcastle were great first half.
Yeah, and then suddenly, I don't know, I was really shocked when it came through 2-1. I was like, wow. Well, fair play to Sunderland.
Scored Brobby, get the winner, end of the game.
He's improving all the time, isn't he? The centre
he really
forward.
is, mate. They've done well. What a great season they've had.
Oh, unbelievable.
Tottenham, mate. Watch that. Holy moly, guac.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just there. I mean, that was a doing. Well,
we was going around a few tables at Wembley, and there was a couple of Tottenham fans in there because obviously they was taking people out and whatever. And the game was on and disaster. He said, I don't like going anymore. He said, the guy said.
It was funny, you and I had a wee talk about it there. What a weekend for our London clubs, mate.
Oh, not good.
Tottenham, Arsenal,
Chelsea
got going over, didn't they?
Yeah, Everton. We were flying.
Everton. What a performance that was. What about his goals? Was it Beto? His goal with Dink.
Yeah, fantastic. People always say about David Moyes, he always seems to get. And do you know what? They're only a few points behind Liverpool now, aren't they? Everton, 3 points.
A few points behind.
So having a great season, Everton. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, as you know, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark, browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Now, we mentioned the game. We mentioned 3 or 4 games here, but Nico O'Reilly was a hero for City yesterday, bagging both of their goals. He said it should be proof that you can never, ever write them off. Write them off at your peril.
Yeah, I think we showed everyone we're still here. Obviously, we had a tough week in the Champions League and in the Premier League, but yeah, we're definitely still here. we had a great performance in the second leg of the Champions League to hold Real Madrid down for as long as we did with 10 men. And today we played amazing as well, especially in the second half. We came out and we dominated the game. So we're definitely still here and we're definitely still fighting.
He was superb again, wasn't he?
Oh, mate.
What a season he's having. Not a bad weekend for him, Ali. 21st birthday, Saturday. Getting the two goals in the Carabao Cup final.
Tremendous.
On the Sunday. So, and, he's going to be a massive player going forward, isn't he? For England and Man City.
I think he could be a starting left back. It's interesting. Is he a starting left back or does Lewis Hall come in?
Yes, it's close. I think Lewis Hall's maybe just in front of him at the moment. But I think it's a real dilemma for Tuchel. And the form... They're both playing well, aren't they? I mean, I do like Lewis Hall. I think
Me too.
Top player. I really do like the way he plays. But Nico O'Reilly's certainly putting pressure on.
It's a funny one, Ray, because I was at where was it? I was in the Bernabeu for the Madrid game. And he struggled in that particular game.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I think it's the only time I've seen him struggle, Nico O'Reilly.
Well, he's a young boy, isn't he?
Of course
he's still learning. He's going to have bad games. He's going to have games
100%.
where he's struggling.
He lost the goal, Valverde, over the one over the top. Who incidentally got sent off at the weekend as well. Watched that. Thought it was a little bit harsh. Some people thought it might have been a red card. I thought it was a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
But getting back to Nico O'Reilly, the great thing about it, I thought he had a wee struggle in that particular game in Madrid. But boys, he bounced back again.
Well, I don't think Saka didn't get a kick yesterday. You look at
he didn't.
You know, people who are going to influence games. Saka's certainly one of them for Arsenal. He couldn't get in the game. Declan Rice was a little bit too deep at times. I think the second half
they sat off them.
Yeah, they went really deep second half, and it just invited Man City onto it. And obviously a mistake for the goalkeeper, Kepa, for the first goal. But it's a game that. It could have gone either way, but I thought Man City just had that little bit more in that second half. I mean, first half was pretty evenly matched.
I didn't think there was
not a lot in it except first half.
Not a lot in the first half.
Not a lot of chances.
City better team second half.
Yeah, all day long. And there's no complaints from myself. The City won it, but look, they've got to dust themselves down. The problem they've got really, Ali, is that. You know, when you lose a game of football, you've been a manager, you've been there, you want a quick one, didn't you? You want another game, round the corner.
Immediately.
To bounce back, to get the feel-good factor back into the dressing room. Now, they've got to wait 2 weeks.
I know, mate.
2 weeks, they've got the international break, everybody's going to be going different places. And now Mikel Arteta will be really, he'll be overthinking that game of the weekend, saying, what went wrong, what this, that, whatever. So I'm just hoping that they can, bounce back quickly. They've got Southampton next in the FA Cup, which they're on fire, by the way. Southampton.
Great result again at the weekend.
They are absolutely flying.
Great results, some great results here. What was Ipswich doing? World Cup.
Well, Coventry took that advantage.
Brilliant result.
Yeah, Ipswich and Millwall drawing, Middlesbrough drawing.
Yeah.
So Coventry looks like they're their way. They'll be in the Premier League next year, which would be brilliant for Frank Lampard. Absolutely fantastic.
Delighted for him. Absolutely delighted.
But yeah, I mean, Southampton on a real run. Hull City took advantage as well. They had a good win against Sheffield Wednesday, or we know they're relegated already.
Having a struggle.
But it's, that league as well is brilliant. And, as I said before, they've got 2 weeks now before that Southampton game.
You're right, though. You make a good point. You just want a game.
Yeah, you want a quick game.
Tuesday away.
So, right, but we get that out of our system. That's why I thought Newcastle was a massive game for them against Sunderland. They can get a win. Suddenly the fans forget about Barcelona and letting 8 goals in over 2 legs. But now, because Sunderland got a win, they've got a 2-week break. And we've saying, just thinking about that Sunderland game.
You want to move on, don't you? Well, listen, you mentioned the goalkeeper situation. Arteta, as we know, Kepa over David Raya between the sticks. His errors yesterday brought back some bad memories for the goalkeeper, perhaps, to the Carabao Cup final mishaps that he's had previously. Well, certainly back in 2019. He refused, well documented, refused to be substituted and let in a team effort from Maguire as City won 4-3 in penalties. 2022. He failed to save even a single penalty in the Liverpool game, the shootout there. And yesterday, Kepa completed a hat-trick at Wembley Howlers as he failed to take a routine catch, instead dropping it directly into the path of Nico O'Reilly. Arteta was, of course, asked about his decision to start Kepa, to which the Arsenal gaffer said this.
Yeah, well, I think he's played the whole competition. He's the one that helped us to be where we are today, and I think it would have been incredible and unfair because he hasn't given any signs of others than that he's more than capable to play. He's played in the past these kind of games, and unfortunately it happened in the most crucial moment.
I mean, we're all
it's an hard one because I can see what he's saying there. I mean, unless you say to the keeper before the start of the tournament you're going to be playing most of the games, but the final I might have to change it and put my best keeper in. And sometimes you have to accept that as a goalkeeper. But, Guardiola done exactly the same thing. Trafford had a great game.
You took the words out of my mouth.
He had a brilliant game.
You took the words out of my mouth.
To leave him out,
Absolutely.
He's a top player.
People forget that. But obviously...
He's made the mistake.
He's made the
mistake. If Trafford makes a mistake, it'd be the same thing.
Correct. I saw Trafford. I can't remember what game it was. Trafford, who I thought was great yesterday.
He was really good.
Wasn't he great yesterday? One of the European games, I was up at the Etihad, and he got caught, ball at his feet. Can't remember who the opposition was. Might have been Dortmund or Leverkusen, actually. Can't remember. But then they question him obviously about that. But there's no questions yesterday because things go well.
And he's right what he says, Arteta. I mean, they're in the final because he's played in every round and he's not really made loads of mistakes getting to the final. I know look, it's a bigger game, a final. There's a trophy at stake and all that sort of stuff. But I think they've always agreed that you play it in those games.
I think you're probably right.
And I would that upset the dressing room a little bit? If it shouldn't do, but
I'm not sure it would.
No, I mean, but it's a big decision he made, and we're talking about it because he made that mistake.
Correct.
Now, if Trafford makes a mistake, we'd be sort of saying, well, why didn't he play Donnarumma from the start?
You're right. The reason we're talking about it is because he made a mistake. If he doesn't make a mistake, he beat 2-0, we're still not talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. If he's got no chance of the goals, we're not even mentioning it. So it's a big decision he made. I know Ray is a very, very important player for Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. But he's made that decision. You can't just go by that. I just think the whole second half performance from Arsenal, not just the goalkeeper,
100%,
wasn't good enough.
There's a lot
Simple as that.
There's a lot more to it than one mistake. I agree.
Absolutely.
It's free fan therapy this morning. talkSPORT breakfast, and we want to hear from you, the fans, this morning. Give us a call. You know the drill. 03717 223344. Arsenal, who's to blame for the defeat? City had Pep got the bug back for winning. How big of an impact could this have on the title race? Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool. Get yourselves in touch and come have a rant about the state of your teams. You know the number. 03717 223344. This is talkSPORT breakfast.
Is Eze England's best option now at number 10?
Oh,
no.
I think you've got so many options. I mean, I would say nay at the moment, yeah.
For who?
Well, you're looking at, there's so many players can play in there, aren't there? Well, Andy Sanders has just said Rodgers should be better on the left, but he can also play on number 10. You've got Bellingham, who, look, whatever season he's had, he does turn up for the big games. He can play in big games. Would he be in front of Eze? Look, Eze scored a cracking goal the other night. There's no doubt in that. And he's banged one in the FA Cup the other day. He's starting to score a few more goals, which is very important. But I'll still I don't think he'll be in that starting number 10.
No, Bellingham for me. You can't ignore Bellingham's talent, and people who do really need to take a look at themselves.
But Eze's putting pressure. He's putting pressure on himself. Don't get me wrong. He's putting pressure on.
Jude Bellingham doesn't get the credit he deserves for the career he's had already.
He's a young lad.
Because he rates himself, people hate him.
Yeah,
yeah, but you can be confident in your own ability.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be overconfident. But you still got to be confident. You ain't going to be a player if you're not confident going forward.
Do you remember when your interview with Thomas Tuchel when he was like, I mean, my mother finds him repulsive?
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't.
you come back from that.
He's not scared to leave one out, Tuchel, though. He ain't going to just pick you for the sake of it. That's what I like about the manager. Because sometimes you can pick people because their reputation and this, that, and that, whatever, but he won't do that. Tuchel will go, right, whoever's...
I've got it, guys. Don't worry about it. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Ray with you this morning. All over the Gorillas. Bit of Gorillas in your radio this morning. Why we're playing it here, you ask? Well, I'm going about to tell you. It's because it's the legendary Damon Albarn's 58th birthday. Dear me, 58, man. He was the face of the Britpop era with Blur, the mastermind behind the global phenomenon that was the Gorillas, and was even awarded an OBE a decade ago for his services to music. But a Blur fan, you'd more.
Yeah, well, they were there, weren't they? Noel and Liam.
Of course, aye.
So obviously, as around that sort of era, same era, wasn't it?
Well, the wee set too, didn't they, back in the day? I don't know. But
no, they were good. They were Essex. I think there was Essex, weren't they? That way,
Colchester. I think they were.
Near Allen, I think.
Boys, can I, weren't they?
Yeah, Colchester. That's it. They was up that way. So they were good back in the day, weren't they?
Aye, 50.
Good band.
That's some good song, yeah, in the house. Very big house in the country. I loved that one.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of Song 2. Song 2 was a classic. That was very, very good. Right, let's go. We need to move on. I'm getting looked at as if I'm daft in there. We're going to have a look at today's back pages.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
And joining us this morning is a lady bound to have a smile on her face. Well, a little smile on her face.
I don't know about that.
I just think current form would indicate she must have a smile on her face.
I think she would have wanted Arsenal to win more than Man City.
Yeah, but I was talking more about her own team.
Yeah, no, my own team, all is well. Obviously, a few conversations about VAR decisions and stuff. But a point to point, I thought United was going into this season top half of the table. I'd be happy with that. So to see where they are now, yeah, I'm smiling.
Do you ready to get the job, Carrick?
I think he will. I think because of it being a World Cup year and it being very difficult to get people, it would be a very long wait. And obviously Tuchel's now committed to England. I think Carrick will get it.
I'll give him it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
What he's done is, the feel-good factors there.
Yeah. See if he can finish third, right? He absolutely must get it. And so he should get it. Because if they don't give him it, and the next guy that comes in is a disaster, where does that leave them? They've just had a guy that should have got it.
We'll be knocking on his door like, sorry about that, made a bit of a mistake. Yeah, no, I
think it's a
agree.
situation where they just don't overdo the contract, do they? I think
a couple of years.
A couple of years.
Yeah,
so you ain't really signed some of that before, and if it goes wrong, you got another big payout. And all
a couple of years.
Mark will be happy with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to bring something up that's not Manchester United related. Ali, I don't know if you know about this. There is a lookalike competition that you've won.
Oh, yeah.
Are you aware of this? So you have won.
It with Sean Connery and.
You wish.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt was in it. James Dean was 7th.
I've got one better. Iran's senior military advisor, Major General Yahya Rahim Safavi.
Oh, Ali, can you have a little word with him?
Now, I've seen this picture. If you're watching on your TV, on YouTube, the image is that's a bit harsh. That's a bit rude.
By the way, I look harder than him.
That is.
You'd rather have me as your defence secretary.
I was going to say, could you be a senior military general?
Easy, no danger. I look harder than him.
Yeah.
You'd want me running your military rather than him.
He looks a bit weathered compared to you. That's a bit mean.
Can you have a little word with him, Ali? My pension's going down at the moment.
Yeah. Also, how old is that picture of you that they've used? You look a bit.
I can do a shave, accept that.
Yeah.
Ray,
have you had any?
George Clooney was 5th in that lookalike competition, by the way. Just
yeah, of course. Ray, any lookalike?
Charlie Dimmock.
No danger.
Shirley Temple.
Yeah, Shirley Temple. Yeah, that's good one.
The old Barney.
Shirley Temple.
Anyway.
Yes. Shall we go on to the Carabao Cup final, Shirley?
Before we get any further.
No. What's that? One of the members, TLC.
Oh, she's probably
one of the members.
She's probably drop dead gorgeous as well, is she?
Yeah, she's not difficult to look at. Yeah, I'll be honest. There's also a politician in America, AOC. She's called. I don't know.
Donald Trump.
No, not Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or something. Yeah, apparently there's a few. But I'll be honest, non of them are too difficult to look at, so I'm not complaining. But anyway, Carabao Cup final headlines. Shall we go through them?
Let's go.
We've got The Life of O'Reilly. That's been used quite a few times.
I like it.
Blimey O'Reilly, Knife O'Reilly. Obviously, the quadruple is over for Arsenal. Manchester City won that Carabao Cup final 2-0. Pep Guardiola's record 5th win in the competition.
Amazing.
Remarkable.
All thanks to Nico O'Reilly. 21 on the
Remarkable.
Saturday. Winning a trophy at Wembley on the Sunday. I mean,
I know. What a weekend.
we've got to get into the Arsenal conversation. Ray, where do you sit? Should he have played Kepa? Should he have played Wright? Who should have been in that starting 11? Do you agree with the decision?
I think it was I think he's gone with him all the way through the tournament, so I would have kept with Kepa. Before it started, we wouldn't even be talking about it if he didn't make that mistake. Man City went with the same, as Ali says. Trafford went all the way through the tournament, didn't he? Yeah. With Donnarumma, he was involved. So,
respectful thing to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the right decision. But look, we wouldn't be talking about it. If they lost 2-0 with no mistake from Kepa, we wouldn't even be mentioning the keeper. But he did make a mistake, and it was costly because usually when keepers make a mistake, it is a goal, which was the case yesterday. But I think he's still... I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the team performance wasn't good enough.
I think you're right, mate.
In that first, especially second half. First half was not a lot in it between both sides, not a lot of chances. But second half, Man City upped it. They dropped deeper.
What did you think of Shirky doing those keepy uppies? Bit rude.
Yeah. By the way, he had a really good game. I think he was one of the best players on the pitch.
He's a player.
Absolutely. And Pep.
What would Martin Keown have done if he'd have been?
Well, I think most of the players in my era would have took him out somehow along the line. Maybe took turns taking him out as well.
Yeah,
he would have, huh? Yeah. Absolutely.
You do one each usually. But yeah, you got to have respect for your other teammates. I know you're winning the game. You can take the pick a little bit, but I don't like that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to do that.
Lack of respect.
If I'm being honest with you. Look, he's done it, and I think Ben White went in after him straight after got a yellow card. I'm sure he did. But yeah, I just win the game. Do what you have to do. Keep taking players on and all that sort of stuff, but don't stop flicking it in front of people. I don't mean that. That looks good.
No, it does. It's not good.
And I'm sure Pep Guardiola,
Pep
Guardiola would say that as well.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. If he was playing for Barcelona...
The only one I can let him away with was Jim Baxter at Wembley.
Was he? Did he do
that? We can let Jim away.
That's all right.
That was nice.
Yeah. Treble still on?
I was very realistic there. The quadruple's too much. There's always going to get knocked out of something. And I know it's a long way to go in on all the other three competitions, but if you're going to lose one, it's probably this one. But on the other hand, they haven't won a trophy together. So this one might have helped them go on to win other trophies, if you know what I mean.
There's people that will say, is Arteta maybe not a winner? Did Guardiola outdo Arteta in the game? Is that a bit harsh?
Well, he's got more experience of winning trophies.
Yeah, technically.
What's he won now? 40 trophies or something?
Something like that.
That's ridiculous. Arteta's only won one, isn't he?
And by the way, just for the record, before we go to the news, how much did it mean to him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The celebrations was amazing at the end. They really,
He meant it, didn't he? He wanted it. He needed it.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's what you want to see if you're... But look, don't get me wrong, they was kicking every ball. I was just behind them. Pep and Arteta, and he was kicking every ball. It's amazing to see the energy they showed. Do you know the little technical area? Yeah. One time, Guardiola was about 30 yards down there. And the old fourth official has to chase him, get back in. One thing about them technical areas, it's tiny, isn't it?
They are small.
At Wembley?
Yeah, they are.
It's ridiculous. It's got to be a bit bigger than
I know, get a bit of room.
We'll put in a word.
Yeah.
Right, Angelina, thank you. And the question is, coming up, has Tottenham's fate been sealed with that disastrous home loss to Forest yesterday? Not yet, I say.
How do you feel that Jamie's wearing your mask? How do you feel about that?
I can't even see him. I can't see him. I haven't got the mask on. I haven't got the mask on.
Fully got
I
it
can't
on.
see it.
Breathing in there, the lot.
Do you know what? All I can say is I wish I had the mask on now.
To be fair, you look like Ange.
It's just who we are, mate.
Your team play like
Seriously
Ange.
though, mate.
Is this it? Can we end it now?
mate. You've turned into a meme club, you are.
Can
You're
we
a
end
meme
this
club.
interview now?
No.
Hold on. Say that again.
You've turned into a meme football club.
I remember it. I mean, the last week, I don't think I've ever known a week like it, right? So you go back to Wednesday of last week and 74 minutes on the clock, and you think about what's happened. Conceded 5 goals in 30 minutes.
Slap.
Jesus Christ. Listen,
has anyone seen Candy? Dennis Wise?
Right, okay, hold on.
Solar.
Yeah, hold on.
Listen, who's that?
No, leave it, man. Leave it. No, you'll sweat. No, I'm doing it. No.
But did you think you would come from 3-0 down? Did he think he'd come from 3-0 down?
He was confident. It was encouraging signs, he said.
You're
Encouraging signs.
PSG?
I'm a United fan.
He's a bloody United fan.
Hey!
Don't sweat.
Come on, boys. Listen, at the end of the day.
Hold on, who are you playing in the Champions League?
Let me ask you a question. Who's going to play next year? Who's going to play next year?
Champions League. I'm getting sick of United fans.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
.34, it is Monday the 23rd of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they'll have the car for you. In the studio this morning, Ally and Ray, it's time now to take a look at the latest EFL action in partnership with McDonald's.
EFLers on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability, price may vary.
Onyeka again in the right wing position, puts the cross back into the box, and then Sakamoto tucks it away for 3. It's all going so well for Coventry City. Frank Lampard punches the air with delight.
Brilliant weekend. Absolutely brilliant weekend from Coventry when you look at it. They cruised to a 3-0 win against Swansea to move 11 points clear of third place. And I think they are 9 clear of Middlesbrough in second. Middlesbrough, Ipswich and Millwall all failed to win. Frank Lampard's side now need 14 more points from the remaining 7 games to end their 25-year exile from the Premiership. What do you think? Second place? I mean, it's something.
Yeah, it's up, I think Coventry are home and hosed. I mean, 11 points clear now, Ellie, third, so they should have enough, really, Frank, with his squad he's got. But the second place, automatic, is really, really interesting. If Ipswich win a game in hand, they can go into second. So that makes them, it's in their hands, really, Ipswich, to go automatic.
Derby have a couple of wins to get them.
Derby have done really well. Wrexham had a great win at the weekend. Yeah, another good one. As we mentioned, Southampton are flying at the moment. Hull City had a good win. Millwall, good point in the end away to Ipswich. So that was a really good result as well. And down the bottom, it's getting interesting as well. I mean,
West Brom and a couple of two great.
Look at Oxford, Leicester, 39, 40. And then West Bromwich Albion, what a result that was at the weekend.
Portsmouth sucked right back into it. Steve was on this morning, but they've sucked right back into it. They got an absolute bat. Was it QPR gave them a battering, by the way?
Yeah, I saw Boldy yesterday, Steve Bold, who's obviously one of the coaches down there now. And he said, could have been 5-3. It was one of them sort of games, could have gone either way. But a good win for QPR. But that league is really, fantastic.
I love that league, mate.
It's brilliant to watch. It really is. And Southampton, they are the team in form at the moment.
Brilliant. And you
really are.
Arsenal got in the cup, as you correctly
And League One, Lincoln City.
Unbelievable.
Oh, they're more or less up. I think they're promoted now.
I had a quick look. The Cardiff draw did they win? But anyway, Lincoln won 3-0.
Cardiff drew 0-0.
Aye, I'm sure they
Lincoln.
Lincoln won 3-0, wasn't it? Rotherham. Am I right? Have I made that up?
No. That's right. They're 18 points clear of third place.
That's some story.
Of third place, so they'll be in the Championship next year.
That is some story. Where do Lincoln play?
What do you mean? Sinselbank, yeah.
I thought it was one of my bankers. I thought I'd done a difficult one for you.
No, Lincoln's. Who was the brothers who was managers?
Well, you beat me there now.
Cowley's, wasn't it? Cowley's, yeah.
That's a terrible thing.
That was down from Colchester.
That's Lincoln.
Lincoln is on the way to Boston, isn't it? That one.
That kind of way.
Up the A1 and then go right. Yeah, up that way. On the way to
Hull. Towards Hull. Yes.
On the way.
That's exactly, but not as far.
Yeah. Up down Skegness, that way, Grimsby way.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Lovely geography lesson.
Look at our geography lesson, man.
That was a big thanks to McDonald's.
Yeah, fellas, on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability, price may vary.
Okay, it was another weekend to forget for Spurs, who plunged further, I'm afraid, into relegation danger.
Spurs 0, Forest 3, and after 45 minutes of domination when Spurs couldn't score, Forest, who normally can't score, showed them exactly how to do it with the aid of a Spurs defence who've taken the afternoon off. Their fans were leaving already, and the final whistle goes. A few boos there as Taiwo Awoniyi added the third. Ball in from Nico Williams' left-hand side. Nobody marked him either inside the 6-yard box, and he slid home. A brilliant win for Vitor Pereira and Forest. What does this do, though, for Spurs and the future of Igor Tudor?
Sure, no doubt about it. That's, believe it or not, their 54th defeat at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium since their move back to the ground.
Amazing, that is.
It's incredible.
I don't get that stat at all. I mean, it's a fantastic stadium.
It's
whether
wild.
People enjoy going there, I don't know. They're away teams, but it's amazing.
That's when they moved back, obviously, in 2000 and, way back in 2019, they moved it, get the stadium changed, and it's a magnificent place to play, as we all know. They also sit bottom of the home league table this season. I'm very pleased to say joining us now is the host of our Last Word on Spurs podcast, Ricky Sachs. Ricky, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. How are you?
Morning, Ricky.
Oh, good morning, boys. God, I feel like this Monday morning slot's horrendous, isn't it?
Oh, man.
At the moment.
Yes,
this is just bonkers, boys. Absolutely bonkers. What can I say that I haven't said already about Tottenham? Just utterly shambolic from the top to the bottom, and it just feels like it's not going to get any better. It's just getting worse and worse every week.
Ricky, I mean, you had that draw against Liverpool, which was an excellent point on that weekend, and then obviously Atletico in the week. I know you was probably out anyway, but he showed a bit of spirit, showed a bit of hunger to win the game.
Excuse me.
And I thought that this might be the change. In my predictions, I had you down to win yesterday. I thought this might be the little spark they needed, that win against Atletico, to get them going again, Spurs. But then back to normal, isn't it? I mean, what went wrong yesterday? I was listening. I was watching bits of it at Wembley, but what went wrong?
Well, Joe, it wasn't a terrible first half. It was a fairly decent first half. I think we created 3 or 4 good openings, but couldn't really kill off the game. And to be honest, as soon as Forest scored, we collapsed. I think the team is lacking severe confidence. I don't know that Bruno Salta referred to in his post-match press conference, obviously with Igor Tudor having a family bereavement. It's really hard, boys. You look at it now, and you have to be honest, the games are running out. I'm going to be honest and say to you, I think for the first time on here, I'm not sure we're going to get out of this now. It's like we're in a real dogfight, and I don't see enough leadership, enough character on the pitch, off the pitch, that's going to get us out of this. So, yeah, it's a terrible state of affairs, and there's just so much wrong from the top to the bottom with Tottenham that it feels like the club do need a complete, utter reset. But I think if we drop into the Championship, we'll be there for years. I don't see us getting out of this. We will be a cup final for every team. And I am just really struggling to see a way forward right now as a Spurs fan. And it's hard because I know, obviously, Tudor's had this family bereavement, which is really, really sad. And, of course, our thoughts and sympathies go out to him personally. But it's going to need some kind of a seismic change now, given the nature of points still to play for. And Spurs need to get at least, you'd say, 2 to 3 wins to secure their Premier League status, which is I thought I'd never, ever have to say on talkSPORT. But this is where we're at the moment.
Do you know, I'm saying, I'm looking at it, Ricky, you've got Sunderland away, Brighton home, Wolves away, some big games. Some of them are obviously Villa away, Leeds at home. Some of them I think are winnable. But I'm looking, I watched the game yesterday, mate, before I just watched all the football yesterday before I watched the cup final. And I honestly thought, I genuinely thought the effort and the commitment was there. And I'm looking at the Spurs boys.
First half, Al. First half was their second half.
But I'm just watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, while I'm watching the game, mate, I think there's more chance of Forest scoring than I do think Spurs are scoring. Do you know that way you're watching that game, you don't believe it?
That's very fair. I think every time Forest went forward, you're concerned. And this is the thing, you said it in the intro. I think you look at the winless run that we've been on, and it actually started with the thumping that we got at the City ground up until now. And what's crazy is I think Forest have scored 31 goals in the league this season, and we have 20% of them goals. It's just unbelievable. Just, again, Tottenham, they set these incredible, disastrous records for teams, and we make sides come to Tottenham, they look like Brazil. I mean, Somerville, what we did for him when West Ham came here, transformed him as a player. And I'll be honest, boys, it's not often I'm at a loss for words, but I can't even tell you now for definite who comes in and fixes this, because the players that we've amassed as a group, it's probably one of the worst playing groups that I've seen in my 30 plus years watching Tottenham. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm at a loss in terms of who comes in now and fixes this, but it feels like there needs to be some kind of change in these next 22 days that Spurs don't have a game. Obviously, that's sandwiched in between an international break and FA Cup participation that obviously we're not involved in. So it feels like there's going to need to be some kind of change there. I don't know whether it could be Harry, whether it's bringing Jermaine in with Ryan Mason, Tim Sherwood, all the names that you've had on your show really in the last 2.5 weeks or so. But something needs to change. But I think even for them now, coming into this squad that's got used to losing, normalised losing, can't handle pressure. It goes back to the Conte press conference of 3-4 years ago, where any kind of pressure that's applied on this group, they can't handle it. The Atletico Madrid game, let's be honest about it, that was a dead rubber during the week. Liverpool game, really weren't expected to go there and get anything. So that's probably, you look back now on reflection and think, yeah, okay, we got a point. I don't know, boys. Difficult to see a way forward right now. It's, as Spurs fans, I think it's just terrifying. It's terrifying when you're in that stadium like I was yesterday. You're coming away from it and you're thinking, generally can't see where the points are coming from in these final remaining games.
Okay, Ricky, listen, can hear you're kind of depressed this Monday morning. I can understand totally, mate. Thanks for taking the time to come on and speak to us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, lads. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Just that financial side as well. How much people who's got boxes can give them back. There are clauses and everything, isn't there? I mean, some people, there might be clauses in people's contracts where you can be sold to a certain amount of money if you get relegated. I don't know. So financially for the club, and obviously with the new stadium as well, it's still probably paying for that. I mean, it's disastrous.
Listen, I excuse me. I'll get back to it, mate. I mean, Ange must be sitting there saying, well, you know, I'm not saying he won't be taking any delight in it at all. But he nailed his colours to the mast. He said he was going to win that European trophy. He concentrated his thoughts on it. He had a really poor league campaign. He won it.
Yeah.
Got him into Champions League. And then they get rid of him. I mean,
they're probably regretting that now. I should imagine now. They've got to be, yeah, because Thomas Frank didn't work.
They've got
now
to be,
this manager's not working. I mean, I don't know where they go next, really. And it's not all about managers sometimes. It's the players who've got to step up, haven't they? I've always said that. I mean,
as well.
You need guidance as a player. You need a bit of guidance. You need a bit of coaching. You need a bit of like organisation from a manager's point of view. But the players have still got the desire to play for the shirt.
Absolutely.
And do the best they can and give the best ability. There's too many players for Tottenham. When they walk off the pitch, they could have done more. They could have done more. I could have done more today. You can't think like that. You've got to go, I'll give everything today. We wasn't good enough. Fair play. We put our hands up. They were better than us today. We've lost the game. But all Tottenham fans want to see is that bit of desire for the club to stay in the Premier League.
Sleeves rolled up.
And they know these players these days know they'll be on their way anyway. They ain't got the problem next year when they're in the Championship, but the fans have when they're watching the team.
Correct, mate. Still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
When it all goes wrong.
Okay, so now we tend to forget for so many of the Premier League teams with crisis talks in session for many. Whether you're an Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea or Spurs fan, dear me, give us a ring. I'll tell you what, why don't you give us a ring if you're a Man City fan as well? Let's get the place upbeat. What about all this depression about here on a Monday morning? I ain't having it in there. Man City fans,
and
give us a
fans.
call.
Sunderland
fans, give us a call. Tell us how your weekend went. Forest, exactly. We'll have both Piers Morgan and Emmanuel Petit joining us later to talk things Arsenal. So get your calls in now, 03717 22 3344. That indeed was our breakfast preview with our very, very good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Feel that Arne Slot is getting his excuses in early before they meet PSG?
I just think that ultimately Liverpool have had a great result and well done them. And you know, people suggesting that Arne Slot was under pressure for this game, they've come out and smashed Galatasaray.
Right.
Fantastic. But I don't like managers building in some comfort zone into... There's no need to build up PSG as a boogeyman. There's every suggestion that you shouldn't be sitting there on television like I was advocating for a moment ago saying, we're going to smash PSG, because I know that puts you as a hostage to fortune.
Right.
But there's no need to start building in how good PSG are, what they are and what they're not. Who cares? How good are you and what do you do? And there's no need to build in the fact that you're playing Brighton on Saturday at 12:30, because, by the way, Brighton haven't got the same sort of squad as you got.
All right.
So,
I mean, but surely last night against Galatasaray, it was a near perfect performance. Is that not what Liverpool fans worldwide have been calling out for? And is it going to go anyway to calming the Slot sceptics, of whom there are many? Ian, big Liverpool fan, you're first up again. What would you like to say? Good morning.
Hi, lads. Okay.
Good, Ian.
I totally agree with Simon. He's getting like a buffer in place there before we play them. He shouldn't be saying things like that. We should just... We're playing PSG. They're a good side. They won it last year. But at the end of the day, you know, we're Liverpool Football Club. And what we've got to do is just get at them and the same type of tempo we played last night. That's what we need even more. So I totally agree with Simon. Sometimes in some of his language he says on the interviews, it does sound like he's getting excuses as an early, and it gets on my nerves. You know, he fails to realise he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast, Monday 23rd of March, 6:51. Ali and Ray with you this morning. They're all on. QPR fans delighted, Rangers fans delighted, Hearts fans delighted. There's a lot of fans out there delighted.
Yeah, of course there is.
There is a lot of fans out there delighted. That's good to hear from you guys. This weekend, the future heavyweight champion of the world, Moses Atoma, takes on Jermaine Franklin. So let's focus on boxing for a moment with our good friends at DAZN.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Moses Atoma versus Jermaine Franklin this Saturday only on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Okay, from a future champ to a serial champ, but all isn't well in the Fury family, as we saw last week. Tyson's father John said his relationship with his son was completely destroyed and believes his son is past his best ahead of next month's comeback fight against Makhmudov. talkSPORT's Gareth A. Davis weighed in the situation and believes the rift between the pair will heal.
He's worried that Tyson's going on too long. He wanted him to finish after the third Deontay Wilder fight. So did Paris, Tyson's wife, by the way. The new thing for me where there's maybe a schism between them in terms of where father and son are at the moment, I think that rift will heal.
There you are. Fingers crossed it does. Don't forget you can watch Atoma versus Franklin live this Saturday, only on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Moses Atoma versus Jermaine Franklin this Saturday only on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Okay, pressure continues to grow on Liam Senior after Chelsea's humiliating 3-0 defeat to Everton. Let's get things straight here. Everton, excellent by the way.
Yeah, they were.
Excellent
very
again. Your man's finish for the first goal I thought was absolutely different class, Beto. The performance drew the inevitable fury of Chelsea superfan Rory Jennings, who was absolutely incensed by his side's spineless display, and Jamie Hara couldn't resist twisting. Jamie Hara couldn't resist twisting. You're banging trouble if a Hara's twisting life. Anyway, let's hear it.
He is a terrible goalkeeper. He is a calamity, and he is always capable of doing that. The amount of points that man has cost her. He's not a good keeper. He's not. I wish we were doing this show in 24 hours' time when you get battered by Forest. I do. I'll get that violin in a minute, and I'll start playing that for your relegation party. You've got some front, O'Hara, to sit there giving it the big one when Tottenham are getting relegated tomorrow. How can you possibly be fake playing a violin? It's been a distinct failure, a proven failure. Now get him out the club and get a proper manager in. There are so many obvious proper managers. Managers who have a proven track record, managers who know what it takes to win games of football. This Chelsea team are still capable of getting into the Champions League spots this year. With this manager, that is not going to happen.
Rory, I've got to say, I think maybe we're like Spurs. I think they had quite a good manager, to tell you the truth. But anyway, you just get rid of them for the sake of getting rid of them, don't they?
Absolutely.
It's amazing to watch, actually, because I think, Chelsea, the last few games, mate, they've been dear me.
Poor, really poor.
They've had a real struggle. I
think Andy, we had Andy Townsend on Friday, and Andy talks a lot of sense, and you can see why he was a skipper of clubs he was at. And he just said, look, Liam just gives too much to the press. He gives too much away. You've just got to sometimes bat it away, haven't you? And just don't say as much as he says. I know you're trying to answer questions, but sometimes you don't need to answer the question they're asking.
I know, I'm with you.
And he puts you in a little bit more of a hole, if you know what I mean. So I think he's a young manager. He will learn from this, but whether it's too big for him, I don't know. I mean, certainly the pressure is big time on.
Can tell him just a bit of turn a wee bit. We're going to bring in a Chelsea fan now who's called 03717223344, and that is Carl. Carl, a very good morning to you. Thanks for calling us. What would you like to say?
Good morning. Disillusioned, totally disillusioned at the moment. I mean, we're 4 years into a so-called 5-year plan, and we're worse off than we were 4 years ago. I don't think the investment in the younger players is working either, because with the exception of probably 2 or 3 of them, they're not cutting it. You know, I mean, look at the stats from the weekend. You know, I think we had something like 690 passes, 9 corners, 4 shots on target, clear chances, 1.
Mm-hmm.
1 clear chance.
It's fun. The problem is with all. I won't go by stats, passing, and all that sort of stuff. Because you look at the football now. I saw it at Wembley yesterday when they're mucking about it at the back.
I know.
They're holding on to it, and it's not quick enough sometimes.
There's only one start that matters, Carl. But I do take your point. But I'm looking at the Chelsea team, mate. Right, when you go Pedro, Neto, Fernandes, Palmer, Caicedo, Cucurella, Gusto. The one problem I still have. I really think Chelsea missed a centre-back, Levi Colwill, and I'm really not convinced about the goalkeeper, mate. I'm genuinely not.
No one is. Not one. Well, either of our goalkeepers, unfortunately, at the moment. You know, I mean, but you've got to create more than one chance in 90 minutes, not 90 minutes plus.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to create more than one clear-cut chance.
Especially with the names Ali just mentioned there. It's not a bad team what you just mentioned there.
Well, it's a good team.
It's got so much quality, isn't it? I mean, they've got to create a little bit more. So there's something going wrong with Chelsea, but they're still trying to get in that 4th and 5th position. Liverpool lost the weekend. Liverpool lost the weekend.
I was up at Liverpool on Wednesday night, and I thought they put their best performance of the season on. Certainly the best one I'd seen live. Thought they were tremendous. And I thought they've got to carry that off the weekend.
At Brighton. And then
amazing,
Danny Welbeck again. He's on fire, Danny.
I'm loving him. I love
He should be in the England squad.
I'm telling you right now.
Definitely.
I think he probably should be.
Yeah,
Carl, thanks for your call, mate. Up next was yesterday's Carabao Cup victory, the start of a new golden era for Pep Guardiola's City. Positivity at last on the show.
What does that framework look like? Are we talking about like back end of summer? We could see AJ back in the ring if it all goes well. You know, where is it? And do we still get that Tyson Fury fight possibly at the back end of this year?
I think that him fighting in the summer is hopefully what we're working towards. But it's very different him training as he has been and going back into a proper full-on camp. And I think that's what we have to see over the next few weeks, how he gets back into those full camps, those training sessions. The Fury fight is the one everyone wants. We all want it. We're all fans.
2 years, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, if AJ fights in the summer, it's 2 years. Put Jake Paul to one side, all respect, but it's 2 years since a competitive fight. So there's going to have to be some finessing and ensuring that he can get to the levels that require him to be able to fight someone like Fury.
I think the problem we've got, obviously, with Anthony Joshua, and a massive hurdle he has to overcome is this psychological damage that he's got going in there, and that's bigger than the physical battle. That's bigger than the warm-up fights, etc., etc. And that's where none of us are going to be able to give those answers until AJ sort of.
Well, I think in part that battle has been embraced by Anthony by saying he wanted to fight. I think most people were expecting him not to. I think people saw him in London post the circumstances in December and felt that there was very little chance that Anthony was psychologically and physically wanting to fight again. That he made that choice himself. So I think he's embraced that battle already.
And he's 100% positive that is the case, Frank. He wants to fight again. He wants to fight this year.
Yeah, look, it's his life. As I say, it's all he's known and it's all he's focused on for the last 17, 18 years since he went to the Olympics and won the gold medal and then became world champion.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Yep, here we go right now, 5 minutes past 7. Very good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Now, Ally and Ray with you this morning. I'm going to tell you what we've got coming for you this morning. Excuse me. Where on earth did Newcastle and Eddie Howe go after losing again to Sunderland? Are fans starting to turn on Eddie Howe? Daily Mail's chief football writer Craig Hope will reveal all, and we'll be taking your calls until 8 a.m. Many fans unhappy, some happy with the weekend's action. A reminder, Ray's prestigious former teammate, World Cup winner Emmanuel Petit, will be joining us for 2 whole hours. Fantastic. Now, the master schooled the apprentice as Pep Guardiola got his team back to winning ways with yet another trophy added to the cabinet.
West Ham have really hurt Manchester City's title aspirations here. West Ham won, Manchester City won. Chipped in, Valverde trying to help it on. There is his hat-trick.
Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 2. Real Madrid progress. It's 5-1 on aggregate.
Down to the right-hand side of the boundary area. Cherky back for Nunes and queuing up for it across the edge of the 6-yard box. And he's headed in for 2. It's Nico O'Reilly again. Their atypical season contains a familiar sight. Another day of Pep-inspired glory.
For a manager who's won it all, I think this is going to go down as one of Pep Guardiola's sweetest achievements.
This season, Arsenal set the benchmark, and be able to do it, especially second half, made me so proud. The title, of course, I'm really pleased, but especially the way.
Write this fella off at your peril. Quite incredible.
Yep, after going trophyless last year, Guardiola hit back at the earliest opportunity with the 19th piece of silverware in Manchester. The wait goes on for a trophy for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta. It's now 6 years. But what impact will yesterday's defeat have on the rest of the season? Well, let's take a call. Patrick's an Arsenal fan. Dialed 03717 223344 this morning. Patrick, good morning. How are you this morning?
Morning, Patrick.
Good morning, lads. Very well. Morning, Ray. Morning. Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, obviously. Yesterday, I think he made Arteta team selection was wrong. He should have played Calafiori instead of Nkapia, and I would have picked Raya. He's a number one goalkeeper. How much do we really want to win it?
No, I think most people would have said, because he made that mistake, Raya wouldn't have made that mistake and this, that, whatever. But, you know, Man City done exactly the same, didn't they, with their keeper? And Trafford had a brilliant game, didn't he? He made 3 great saves in the first half, especially. Calafiori, I can see your point there on that left-hand side. He's got that little bit more drive going forward. And I think Nkapia has been brilliant for Arsenal. There's no doubt about that.
So do I, Ray, but I take Patrick's point.
No, so do I. I mean, left back, I like Calafiori. He pushes the back. He pushes them back more than
he gets you forward.
Yeah, he gets you forward more. So that could have been an option there. Obviously, Eze was a big blow for him. Yeah. He's out. Havertz didn't really get in the game as much as you like him to. And Gyökeres was just, he didn't have a great game himself, did he? It didn't look like he knew, whether he's. But I just thought, in general, I think the whole performance. I know people will look at the keeper and say, yeah, he made a really bad mistake, and that was the first goal, which could be vital in games like that. But I still look at the whole performance of the second half. Wasn't good enough.
Wasn't good enough. You're right. We're going to bring in legendary writer, broadcaster, and host of the Sunday edition of talkSPORT now, Henry Winter. Henry Winter, good morning. The bottom line, my friend.
Morning, Henry.
Manchester City were better second half, I think, and Ray thinks too, by a good bit, Ray. Hey, Henry, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, morning, Ali, morning, Ray. Absolutely, completely agree. Arsenal were too passive in the second half. I don't know what Pep said to City at half-time, but they absolutely stepped up the game, and they were better in every department. I thought Trafford was good, that triple save that he makes.
Yeah.
I take Ray's point about Kepa. But I just think that, and I can understand that sort of loyalty that Arteta showed to him, but it's a final, and there is a gap between Kepa and Raya. So, you know, as your graphic said, did Arteta get his team selection wrong? I thought he was loyal to Kepa, and I kind of understood that, but this is a final, this is a trophy, this is a sort of psychological statement they would have made. I didn't have a problem with Hincapié at left back. I mean, Patrick was there, he made a point, I was there as well. I think Hincapié has been Arsenal's best left back this season, and I'm sure they'll make the loan permanent in the summer. But yeah, look, I mean, City, you're completely right all over. I thought Bernardo Silva, I mean, his performance, I'd love to know what he actually weighs compared to what his shirt weighs at the end of a game, because it's probably equal, because he puts so much sweat into that shirt and he comes off looking exhausted. Rodri was good. And then O'Reilly, 2 goals from left back. I mean, solved England's problem, which is nice, not that that's Pep's concern, but I just thought he was fantastic. His athleticism for someone so young, that decision-making, getting into those positions. So, yeah, absolutely, better in all departments.
I thought Turkey was good as well, Henry. I mean, you can see Pep Guardiola on the side. He was just like below me, and you can see the frustration sometimes with that Turkey. But at times he runs at players. He really commits players, and I thought he was excellent on the day. And you could see when he took him off, he was really pleased with his performance. Guardiola.
He's young. We forget the Turkey's. You know, he is young. As 2 former pros, what did you make of the slight element of showboating?
Yeah, we can't have that. I mean, I would have gone round. In our teams, it would have been one at a time. You take him out or do it.
Henry, you remember, there's absolutely no place for it in the game at all, unless, of course, it was Jim Baxter in '67 doing it at the same stadium.
Slim Jim, absolutely. Ali, we're still not recovered. You know, I think you became official world champions after that, didn't you?
We did. Talking about world champions, Henry, the one thing. No, you know, so I nearly said surprised me. It didn't surprise me. It looked as though it meant the world to him. Pep, his reaction when the goals were getting in and after the game kind of summed it up for me.
Yeah, I mean, he's committed. I mean, you talk to his players, you talk to his former players, and they just say his drive to win is ferocious. And, you know, all the great managers have that. You know, Ferguson has it, Ancelotti has it in a sort of different, sort of slightly more sort of sanguine way. But that hunger to win is remarkable. And the young players coming through, and he is redeveloping this team, must look at that hunger that this guy who's won it all, who's got all this wealth, and is just absolutely desperate to win, and that must suffuse the players as well. I mean, everyone's talking about his future. It'd be such a loss to English football if Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest managers the game has ever seen, so inventive, the different things, you know, the way he develops players, we're seeing it with O'Reilly particularly at the moment, was lost to the English game. And he does have a history of seeing out contracts, so I hope we get another year out of Pep.
Henry, obviously it was a great day to watch football yesterday. How they staggered it. 12 o'clock, obviously, we had the North East Derby, which was amazing, really. Yeah. Sunderland coming back, fair play to Sunderland, great result. And then, obviously, we looked at the relegation battle. West Ham go to Villa, and West Ham were pretty poor. And I think they had one shot on target the whole game. And Spurs, what can you say about Spurs? What do they do now, Henry? Do they make that change, or do they stick with the manager? Because that was a real bad defeat for well, credit to Forest, but a really bad defeat for Spurs.
They should have made the change ages ago, I think, with Tudor, and you know, they could have got Robbie Keane in. Someone like him with his DNA, because people talk about, they want to get an elite manager in. You're not going to get an elite manager in if you're in the Championship, and that is where Tottenham Hotspur are going at the moment. I thought the fans were fantastic. Fair play to all the fans groups who got that sort of greet for the teams. You very rarely see scenes like that outside a Tottenham Hotspur. Fans were absolutely brilliant. Some of the players were up for it, Archie Gray, but they've got to realise that they're in a fight. Morgan Gibbs-White said it all. You know, and ironically, because they pursued him, but he said it's about fight, it's about spirit, it's about desire, it's about hunger. And Tottenham's players didn't show enough of that. And unless they do, you know, they're heading to Lincoln away.
We keep saying that though, Henry. Unless they do, they're quickly running out of time.
Do you know what Romero said after the game? He said, we got 7 cup finals left. I said, why didn't he say we got 8 before that game?
I know.
That's what I didn't get. I mean, that was a bigger cup final. Tottenham at home against Nottingham Forest.
Henry, I've not had a chance to talk to you about it, and I'm running out of time. So, are you enjoying the fight for the title up in Scotland, my friend?
Oh, fantastic. I was talking to a Scottish fan who was over to watch the game at Wembley yesterday, and he was a Hearts fan, and he was absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a proper race up there. You couldn't predict who was going to win it. And then you look at some of the football that a team like Motherwell are playing, and what a league it is.
It's great, mate. We're thoroughly enjoying it. Good to see you, my friend. Take care.
Have a great week, guys.
You too. Broadcasting co-host of the Sunday edition, Henry Winter. And then coming up, could Liverpool finish below Everton for the first time since 2013? Come next.
You know, he's Brazil's all-time goal scorer.
I don't care. I don't care.
He's got more goals than Pele.
Was Pele all that? Was he all that, Pele? Would Pele get into Arsenal's team now?
Hold on. What do you mean?
Would Pele get in Arsenal's team now? Would he get ahead of Martinelli?
Well, you don't think Pele's any good?
I don't never saw it. I mean, all I've seen is
you're not having him better. You don't think he's better than Gyökeres?
I don't know whether Pele was as good as everyone said.
He won 3 World Cups.
I know, but that was back then, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
I know.
You're not having Pele?
No, it's a little bit like someone winning. Let's say back in like the
hat-trick in a World Cup final.
Let's say like in the early 1800s, early 1900s, someone won Wimbledon 25 times. They're not going to be better than Federer or Djokovic.
Right, but Pele can't help the fact that he was born in whenever he was born in the 60s.
At that time, Pele was obviously very good.
Right.
But don't tell me Pele gets an Arsenal's team now.
What do you mean?
The best side in the country. Who's he getting?
He's not getting in front of Gyökeres.
He ain't getting ahead of Saka.
Are you having a laugh?
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
I can't believe you said that.
I've
never heard you come out with so much guff.
No, but we don't.
Pele.
But we don't know how good Pele was.
What do you mean?
We are told.
What do you mean?
No, at the time.
He won 3 World Cups.
Gary Mack used to sing that to me I used to room with Gary in international duty. That was a wee song.
Leeds.
I loved the Leeds.
I'll go back to when they won the Premier League, wasn't it? Back in the day.
Aye.
90.
That was
What was
a-
that?
92.
90 when
We
it
played
first
them,
year,
that was
92.
We played them the following year in the Champions
Cantona,
League.
wasn't it? Cantona was in their team.
Aye.
There's some team then.
Aye.
Batty.
They weren't that good right enough. We
Ray
beat
Gary
them.
Speed.
I said they weren't that good.
McAllister.
We beat them home and away.
Did you?
Home and away.
Score a couple?
Both games. Actually. This is talkSPORT. Thanks for asking. This is talkSPORT breakfast. Ally and Ray with you this morning. Now, I'm taking a big chance. Bump my load there because we're going to speak to Dan. Dan's a Leeds fan. Dan, very good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, Dan.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Ray. Nice introduction to next stage of your show there.
Lovely stuff, pal. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What do you think of the weekend, mate?
Marching on together, I don't know, mate, but can I start by saying something, please?
Of course.
Please do not ever tell me again that the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world, right? Here we go. Right, so it all started from Friday night with the Manchester United penalty. Right, that was a joke. Now, Elland Road Saturday night, wow. Where can I start? Tactics were wrong again. So we've gone back to the same as first half when we played Man City. Okay, Nemanja, totally flat. He got the ball, had the chance to put it in the box, and he put it out for a dead ball. He took Aronson off, brought James on. Why didn't he put one on one wing, one on other wing? And this time wasting, going down in the box and that. And the biggest one of all, Ali, Ray, where Thiago stood in the penalty area with his hand up as the ball came in for Leeds. He's put his hand up, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, you just think. And the keeper yesterday in that, you know, that, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kepa. How long do you want to keep the ball in the box for? You know, you've got the celebrating from Jerky, that showboating. It's pathetic, Ali Ray. It's embarrassing, mate.
Dan, tell me you're going to stay up, though. You're going to be okay, aren't you? Surely.
You know, Ali, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to.
Oh, Dan, come on, Dan.
Look at Leeds' running.
Come on, there's bias and there's like referees. I mean, is there something with Daniel?
Oh, we've lost Dan. Hope he's all right.
Yeah.
He said this.
Well, I don't think they want to go down. I'm sure they don't want to go down Leeds.
We need to check on Dan.
I think most Leeds fans definitely won't agree with him.
No.
We want to go down. No chance. You see they're running, Ali. Right, so they've got Man United away, which is a tough game. Next game, Leeds, which is always a great game, though. Leeds, Man United. And then they've got Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, Burnley at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, and West Ham away. So they've got all the ones around them. They've got 4 games, all teams around them.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll definitely be fine.
I must admit, an agreement with Dan a little bit. I only watched the first half, and I expected him to come out a wee bit more at the traps.
Well, I had him down to win. I've just thought that the home game and such a big game at stake, knowing West Ham are playing the next day, knowing
pressure on them.
Exactly. There's an opportunity.
But they're picking up points. They're doing okay. I've got to say, what a job he's doing, by the way, Keith Andrews. Brilliant.
Oh,
absolutely brilliant. Now, Brighton conceded, beg your pardon, condemned champions Liverpool to their 10th league defeat, and the pressure on the slot is reaching a boiling point. We're delighted to say we're joined by one of the biggest Liverpool fans in the country, the man behind the Fashionism World Tour this autumn, comedian Adam Rowe. Adam, a very, very good morning to you. How are you?
How you doing, Adam?
I'm all right, boys. I might not have quite the energy levels that your Leeds fan have there, to be honest with you. It's 7 in the morning.
Dan was flying, Adam. Adam, tell me, mate, I said to you earlier on, I don't know if you heard, I was at Anfield in what do you call it? I was Anfield on Wednesday.
That's right.
Absolutely out of this world. Tremendous, the goals, everything about it. And I thought to myself, right, well, that's it. Corner turned a little bit. I fancied him down at Brighton and then fall flat in the face. What's going on? What's wrong, mate?
Look, I'm at the stage now where I do think it's a managerial problem. I don't, and there's a lot I'd like to say on sort of the situation at Liverpool, and I think all of it matters and all of it's important. You know, I don't think enough people are talking about the tragic loss of Jota last year. I don't think, you know, the manager is right when people say, you spend 450 million, he is right to say, well, we sold this amount in order to be able to do that.
Oh no, we've lost Adam. Maybe
we're losing everyone.
I think Dan might have hit him in the car. Oh, no, you can't be saying things like that. Maybe he's jumped in the back of Dan's car and lost the signal.
I think there is a slight problem there. I mean, what they achieved last year was amazing, but it's not been a really good defence of their title.
No, I mean,
I thought they'd be doing a lot better than what they're doing.
I've been surprised. I mean, there's been lapses in form, no doubt about it. I mean,
certain players have lost a bit of form.
Salah's scored a wonder goal again, his 50th Champions League goal, which is brilliant. But his form has been nothing like it. Gakpo's form's dropped a little bit.
Isak got injured, didn't he? When he was just starting to look like he could be a player for Liverpool. So there's been...
I tell you what, I'm looking at that.
There's a lot of people in that team have dropped off a little bit in their performances. Whether that's down to the manager, I don't know.
There you go, Ray. There you go. Villa's result of the weekend puts them 5 points ahead of Liverpool, who are now in 5th. Chelsea a point behind them in 6th. Brentford and Everton 3 points behind them, 7th and 8th.
Yeah. It's a disaster. They don't get in the Champions League next year. That would be an absolute disaster for the club.
Aye.
And whether they're looking at Alonso, I don't know. No one likes to see managers being sacked, but if it ain't working, I'd love to see what the fan base think there. Is it 50-50, do you reckon?
Well, I think it must be. I think we've got Adam back. Adam, you're back. We thought Dan, the Leeds fan, had picked you up there. Have we got you back, Adam? Oh, no, we've not got Adam back. I'm looking
They
through.
just made me count to 5, so the connection must be
There we go.
Good stuff, mate.
Adam, I was just saying there, I mean, the performances this year have certainly dropped off quite a bit. Now, whether you say Salah's form's a little bit out of sorts and Isak got injured and when he was just starting to look good for Liverpool, Ekatike's been the one who's probably been the best player, hasn't he, so far this season. But if you don't make the Champions League, which is you're looking behind you, you've got Everton, you're obviously your rivals, 3 points behind. Brentford 3 points behind. You've got Villa winning yesterday. I know Chelsea are struggling as well, but you've got to be concerned if you don't get in that Champions League next year.
I mean, of course, like my absolute massive fear, and I actually think it might happen at this. I think it could be Everton that catches us. I think Chelsea are just as bad as we are.
Yeah.
I think what might help Chelsea is they're now out of Europe and Liverpool have got to play the next round against PSG. But I've already I've got my ticket sorted for that second leg. I've got very little faith that I think PSG are currently the best team on the planet. So we're just nowhere near that level at the moment. I think Everton look good. Everton could catch us. They've just absolutely battered Chelsea. It'd be horrendous just from a financial point of view for Liverpool to not make the Champions League. Never mind sort of the basis as a fan. Look, I don't know how far I got into what I was saying before we lost connection, but I think there's been a lot of problems this year, and not all of them are the managers, and the managers had to deal with some really serious issues that can't be understated. The death of a player, the grief that brings, an entire squad of people, and every single person deals with grief differently. So he's managing, a lot of different reactions to grief and his own. And I don't think that can be understated. I do think eventually, though, maybe someone else also going through the grief isn't able to get, a bunch of these lads through it. I don't think it can be understated how much that death will have affected the squad. Eventually, you have to look just at what's going on the pitch. And I don't see anything changing. And it's the response to the games that is bothering me more than anything, because Slot's attitude seems to be, it's all fine margins. If we just had a little bit of luck, we'd be up there fighting for the league and we'd be absolutely fine. And, we've had injuries and it's just a bit of luck. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans are now looking at the performances and going, this is quite turgid and we don't want to keep watching this. And if the attitude is the only thing that needs to change is the results, I think that's where he's starting to lose people.
Mm-hmm. All right, Adam, listen, appreciate you taking time.
All right, Adam, top man, mate.
All the very best to you. Thanks for your time this morning, mate. Adam Rowe there, comedian, Liverpool fan. Catch Adam and his autumn tour, Fashionism, coming up. What is going on at Newcastle?
After 2 decent results in a row, has Igor Tudor earned his stay of execution at Tottenham until the end of the season? Well, Drive presenter and expert striker Darren Bent certainly thinks so.
The performances before that, I mean, the 6 before that, oh my God, 6 straight losses in a row. I thought, what's going to happen here? Like, where's it going to end? And they put in a decent performance against Liverpool. And as you said, they beat Atletico in the second leg. And they have got confidence now because that's 2 unbeaten now in all competitions, 2 unbeaten. The game on Sunday's the one. It's so big. But clearly now that Igor Tudor is going to be here for the foreseeable now. That he's here to the end of the season.
Yeah.
I can't see them making a change now this season because you've seen...
If they were to lose Forest, lose away at Sunderland, he'd still be there.
Potentially, yeah. I think so.
Very interesting. Spurs Nottingham Forest on Sunday is absolutely gigantic. So would you agree with Darren Bent there? Have we seen enough that's been good from Igor Tudor?
That was a brilliant point away at Liverpool. And the game in midweek, which I watched, I thought there was a lot more spirit, a lot more, really wanting it more for if you're a Tottenham player. So they've got to take that now into this game on Sunday against Forest. Look, Forest will know they're coming off that win as well. They'll be really happy with how they got the result away from home. They'll probably sit back Forest and try and hit them on the break, but they've got good players as well. Gibbs White, Adore. Jesus up front, Anderson in midfield. So they've got a decent squad of players itself. So it's going to be an interesting game. But I think the first goal is, I know it's an old cliche. First goal is going to be really important in that game. If Forest can somehow nick it, then you can see the fans really getting a little bit frustrated. But one thing about the fans the other night, they really, really got behind the team.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will, without doubt, have a car for you. Ali and Ray with you this morning. Back to the phone lines. Are Everton set to finish above Liverpool? That's what we're going to ask. We're going to ask David the Toffee. David, good morning. A very happy morning to you, I would imagine, Monday morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. What a pair of legends. Great to speak to you, but yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing.
I'm going to tell you something, David, before I ask you about the weekend. That's the first time. I was in the stadium. When was I in the stadium? I went to the stadium Thursday. We're doing a wee bit of filming there on Thursday. First time I've been in the stadium. And I thought to myself, I bet this place is rocking with a good atmosphere in it. And I imagine that might have been the case on Saturday.
Saturday was, mate. It's the best I've ever seen. Even on the concourses afterwards, everyone was singing. Absolutely fantastic. We stayed on for a few more beers. The facilities are amazing, but it's the footy. The guys are stepping up to that stadium now. Beto cannot be more chuffed for the lad.
What about his finish? What about his finish for the first goal, mate?
Yeah, nobody works harder, and it was a pleasure to see. And then Njai as well. He just topped it off. If KDH would have scored, if Home Dewsbury would have scored, that would have been an absolute salt in the Chelsea wound.
And I'm pleased for James Garner as well, getting in the England squad. He deserves it because he's had a great season as well.
Hasn't he just? And people say that he's playing an average team, but you look at what he's ball. You know, the ball's putting through for the goal. Come on, sound.
And I think the Liverpool fans are worried, Dave. Don't worry about that.
What about
3 points behind?
3 points off fifth place, mate. Couldn't do it. Couldn't happen, could it?
No worries about that. I think they've lost the way for whatever reason. But I know with the two-tier Premier League, they'll change the rules for them somehow. They'll get them up. I can't see Spurs going down either one of the supposed big six. They'll say there's not that many going down this year, and they'll keep them in with a stadium like that.
You old cynic, David. You old cynic. Brilliant, mate. Well done.
Well done, mate.
I wanted to say thanks very much for mentioning my part of the world. I live in Grimsby, and I'm driving to Lincoln, where I work.
Oh,
brilliant, mate.
You've given me the line of the day of where's Lincoln. And you said on the way to Grimsby.
It was, wasn't it?
I'll tell you one of my highlights, David, while I've got you on. I'll never forget, you think I'm losing the plot here. I'll never forget the Grimsby fans when they knocked Southampton. I was at the game, FA Cup game, I think it was Southampton versus Grimsby a couple of years back. And Grimsby beat them, and the Grimsby fans were unbelievable, mate. I tell you, I could not believe it.
Good cod and chips up there, right?
Oh, I love the cod chips.
Mate, don't say cod.
Oh, you're not allowed to say that.
It's got to be haddock, mate.
It's haddock.
Sorry.
Haddock all day, mate. It's not up for debate.
It's a great time for football, this part of the world. Lincoln going up, got to put up with them. Grimsby Town in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, they're doing well.
He's absolutely buzzing for that. Shout out to Reece. It's a good time for footy in this part of the world after losing teams like Scunny and Boston. But yeah, love it. You've given me a reason to go to work today.
Magic, David.
Fans at where they are. They're on the way to Grimsby.
Well done,
lovely,
Dave.
pal. You're buzzing.
Best,
Great
pal.
to hear it, mate.
Drive
well done
safely.
the weekend. Now up the North East, Sunderland came from behind to beat local rivals 2-1. Newcastle 2-1 in the time of your derby yesterday at St James's Park. The result gives Sunderland a first league double over Newcastle since 2014-15 season. The Toons still haven't won the fixture in a league capacity since 2011. After the game, Newcastle manager Eddie Howe spoke to talkSPORT about how something isn't quite working with his team.
Yeah, we're very much trying to win it. I think that was very much in our thought process. I think we have to be that way. But we just needed to make better decisions on the ball. And of course we need to defend those situations better, and we didn't. And that's sort of not an isolated incident. I think that's the painful thing. We've been in this position before this season, and we've executed similar things. So certainly something isn't quite working, and we're not quite functioning to the way that we need to. So we'll obviously endeavour to be stronger.
That certainly looks the case. I don't think there's any getting away from that. We're going to bring in Chief Football Reporter for the Daily Mail, Craig Hope, and we'll get Craig's views on it. Craig, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us Monday morning. How are you?
Good morning, Craig.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Ray. Very good.
Great. Thanks for joining us, mate. I've got to say, I watched the game. First half, I thought Newcastle at the traps. I thought good performance. And then sort of all things went in the opposite direction. Is it just a blip, Craig?
Well, no, because there's been enough evidence over the course of the season, and certainly 2026, to look at Newcastle's defending and to suggest that this perhaps wasn't a surprise at all. We've only got to go back to Wednesday night in the new camp, really, and Newcastle are making the same mistakes again. Now, they put themselves in a wonderful position out in Spain, 2-2 against Barcelona, going toe-to-toe, a wonderful opening 45 minutes. Then we saw the collapse, then we saw the surrender yesterday, Ali, after 10 minutes, if you were inside that stadium, you were in no doubt as to who was going to win that football match. The pre-match show, the theatre, the drama, the pageantry, what was happening in the stands, the noise. It was like a tumble dryer, really, all heat and motion and energy. Newcastle are then gifted the lead after 10 minutes. It's a mistake by Luke O'Neill, but Anthony Gordon does brilliantly to finish. Newcastle are 1-0 up, and given everything we'd spoken about, this was the game they could not lose after what had happened down at the Stadium of Light in December. Sunderland are missing 6 players who ordinarily would have started yesterday. After 10 minutes, if you're inside St James's Park, there's only one winner. What happened after that was then a drift of a performance. Newcastle were weak. Eddie Howe said to us afterwards, pick whatever word you want and I won't challenge it. I think the one Alan Shearer used was weak, and it's the one I will use too. There was just no grit, there was no resistance, there was no determination there to see home this wonderful advantage had been given. And the more Newcastle drifted, the more Sunderland grew in confidence, and players like Xhaka, like Brian Brobby, and they looked at each other and thought, do you know what? We can go on and win this. And that's exactly what happened. The game had the deserved winners, but it also had the deserved losers, and that was Newcastle.
Yeah, just going on, Craig. There's lots of reports about, I think it was last week or the week before, Newcastle, there's going to be exodus, there's going to be people leaving, Tonali, Gamera, Gordon at the end of the season. It must be a woe for Newcastle fans when you hear Tonali, Gamera especially, the captain. I know he didn't play yesterday, but they missed him certainly in that midfield area, but they could be on their way.
Ray, that's the journey they're on now. I call it the wave pattern. What we saw in the first 2 or 3 years with Eddie Howe going from 19th to 4th into the Champions League was a real steep ascent. Now, I know they had the Carabao Cup just over a year ago, but because of financial restrictions, because of PSR and Aston Villa are on a similar journey too, Newcastle are going to have this whereby they arrive at the end of a season without Champions League football, with some very, very good players. You've just listed them there. Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon. And they're going to look at this as guys in their mid-20s and say, hold on, I don't have Champions League football here. I haven't got the platform I deserve and I want to play on. I'm also being offered more money elsewhere that my current club can't match. Now, because of that, a churn is probably inevitable. How did Newcastle deal with that? One thing I would throw it back to is the ownership. Now, last summer, Newcastle were entering one of the biggest, most pivotal summers in their history with the decision whether to sell Alexander Isak or not. Then on the back of that, having some money to spend with a Champions League campaign to prepare for, they made an absolute mess of last summer. They went into it without a sporting director, without a chief executive. They played a strange game of cat and mouse with Liverpool, whereby they sold Alexander Isak on the last day of the window. It should have been the first. As a result, they panicked with who they then brought in. Yes, they spent £250 million, but they didn't spend it how they wanted to. And what we're now seeing is the fallout of that. That is why, when it comes to questions over Eddie Howe, I will defend him, because I think there's been negligence on the part of the ownership as to why Newcastle find them where they are now, because Howe gave them a brilliant chance, a wonderful platform to kick on as a club, as an ownership, and they haven't really taken that.
Craig, just a quick one, mate. Ray and I were talking earlier on at the start of the programme about the international break. Now, it's one of these ones, we're both kind of in agreement that it's probably not a good international break time for likes of Arsenal, who'd want to just get back on, get back playing after yesterday. However, tell me I'm wrong, I actually think it might be a good time for Newcastle, just get 10 days, a break, regroup. What do you think?
I think it is, and I think that sentiment is shared on the inside, even though they don't want to go into it. It's 3 weeks without a fixture now, and there'll be that lingering pain and that lingering sting of what happened against Sunderland. It's a wonderful international break if they win yesterday, because you've got it's twofold. You've got the feel-good and the chance to reset. But I think even so, nonetheless, regardless of the result yesterday, there's a real want and a need for these players and the staff, Eddie Howe, to come off the treadmill. It's been relentless what they've been on. They need these 3 weeks to reset. And what they've shown traditionally over time is that when they are given time on the training pitch together to regroup, they normally do come out in a better place for it. And I certainly think that sentiment is shared by Eddie Howe.
Craig, there was a little bit of tension. We know that it's going to be a derby. We know how important it is for both sets of fans. But there's a little bit of trouble outside. You was there. Was it worse than what we saw on the TV, or was it just isolated incidents?
It was brief, it was fleeting. It lasted about a minute or so, passing up past the Signed Man Hotel. right directly outside the stadium, where a group of Sunderland supporters who were being escorted by police had broken away from that escort. There was some bottles thrown. There was some really unsavoury scenes, Ray. It wasn't good. But in terms of what it could be and what it has been in previous years, it probably passed off without incident. And we spoke to Northumbria Police last night. They were relatively happy with how it went. Only one arrest. Now, of course, in an age of social media, even 1 minute extrapolated over 1,000 retweets and 20,000 accounts can look pretty bad. But I think in terms of what it could have been, it was actually okay.
Good stuff. Thanks for your time, Craig. Have a good week, mate. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Chief football reporter for the Daily Mail, Craig Hope, there with us. Emmanuel Petit is in the building.
Yes, he
and will
is.
join us for 2 hours. Looking forward to that, mate. Can't wait.
Brilliant. Manu, great player.
We had him a couple of hours over in Paris before one of the games. Earlier on in the season, he was in brilliant form. And next up, we're discussing whether Antonio Conte was right all along about the Spurs.
Kids, for them last night, horror show. The Wi-Fi didn't work.
Oh my goodness!
I got in.
Panic stations.
As I walked through the door, my eldest, not hello daddy, my eldest, Wi-Fi's down. And I went, can I get through the door first? Okay, yeah. Little one comes down, not little anymore, but come on. No Wi-Fi. And I went, can I walk in? All right. Let's get in, I have something to eat. If you fix the Wi-Fi, by the way, I get a text.
Yeah.
A text from my 14-year-old who's upstairs, can't bother to come down. A text, come downstairs. Is the Wi-Fi working? So I text back, can you come down if you want to talk to me? Yeah. Comes down. Oh, is it? Because I can't get... No, it's not. It's not us. It's Virgin. It will be fixed. Just wait.
Yeah.
This morning, first thing, no Wi-Fi, still not ready.
So what did you watch last night on TV?
That's a very good question. We had stuff on the planner already saved.
Yeah.
You've got Sky Glass, right?
So if Wi-Fi goes down...
You're in a world of trouble. I've got stuff saved on my planner. I tell you what, I was watching the football, but Mrs. G was watching the end of... I gave up on that. What's that programme called with the woman from Yellowstone?
Oh, the Salt Marsh.
Yeah, I gave up. Episode 3, nothing was happening slowly. I thought, no, not for me.
It's slow, man.
Yeah.
And even I watched all the episodes, and even at the end, I'm a bit like, what have I just watched?
Yeah, I gave up. She was watching it.
Football was good, though. But no, do you know what? I bet that was quite nice, though. No Wi-Fi.
Well, it was up until every 4 minutes. I had like, still not working.
Just relax. Listen, you should have hit him with a. You know, you should have hit him with the. When we was younger, there's no such thing as Wi-Fi.
I know. I'm gonna have to use my data up. Oh my god.
Is that? I'm guessing that's Chaz and Dave, aye.
Brilliant.
Has to be that.
Good old thing.
Got to be Chaz and Dave.
Can't beat Aussie though. Aussie ideally season.
Oh, Aussie, brilliant. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Ray with you this morning. Spurs spiral towards a drop. Only got worse yesterday as they were absolutely thumped 3-0 by relegation rivals Forest, and a result which has left fans they're feeling fairly hopeless this morning, this Monday morning. If you cast your mind back to the Antonio Conte days, you may remember one press conference in particular which has gone down in Spurs history. Last week marked 3 years since this iconic rant. Let's have a listen again.
They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this. 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here? And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment. And now, until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no, because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans. They follow us, pay the tickets, and to see the team another time, to have this type of performance, for me, I repeat, this is unacceptable.
Wow.
Hey.
He lost the plot there, didn't he? I didn't hear no press. They were loving it, weren't they, the press?
Go and hide.
Do you know that was after, Ali? I've been told that was after 3-3 draw at Southampton. And if they'd won that game, they would have gone into third place.
Joking.
Third place. So that's amazing, isn't it? 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago.
It's 3 years ago, and 3-3 draw. Obviously, he's got the ump with the team. But they would have gone into third place. And look at them now.
What a decline, man.
Fourth from bottom.
What a decline.
I know. Tottenham fans would be, that's
know.
their expectations, and, they expect to be in that top six,
Well,
competing.
A couple of Spurs fans were on there and saying to me, when I've mentioned Ange, they're saying Ange had his, fourth, fifth bottom. And I know he did. But maybe I'm wrong, but I just think he kind of nailed his colours to the mast.
Yeah, did.
He was clearly going to keep the team in the division. Yes, it was a poor campaign, I've no doubt about that. You end up winning a Europa League and getting your team into the Champions League. The decline's been remarkable, Ray, hasn't it?
Unbelievable. It really has. And whether, I think they was getting at the board a little bit yesterday when he was at Arsenal for quite a few years, getting at him a little bit. And, where do they go, though? They've got to stick together as a club because you've got 7 games left and you can't keep feeling sorry for yourself.
See, the only thing I would say, looking at it, right, horrendous result yesterday. And clearly, West Ham, not a good performance, beating at the Villa. But you do look above them. I mean, and Forest, who gave them a going over, very much still in it. 32 points.
Yeah. Leeds, you've got to still be in it.
Got to.
You've got to add
Definitely.
Leeds in.
It's one of those 4, mate. It's one of those 4.
Yeah.
No getting away from it. Leeds are picking up points.
I think Leeds, with their running, what we just talked about,
okay.
I think they should be all right, Leeds. They've got a little cushion, and I think they will get a couple of more wins.
I think Forest look a little bit better.
Forest look very on paper. Their team's strong.
They look better than the teams running about them, mate.
You got Anderson, you got Hudson-Odoi, you got obviously Gibbs White, Jesus up there. He's leading the line well.
I quite like the 2 boys at the back, centre back.
Yeah, they're solid.
Good.
Keeper made a couple of good saves yesterday as well. Sells in goal, so I think they've got enough. And I think Pereira showed. I think I'll go back to the Liverpool game at the City Ground when they nicked it last minute, didn't they? Liverpool. But I think Forest, that first half, they showed enough.
Well, they did.
I know, look, you could argue Liverpool haven't been the team they was this season, but they showed a lot more desire. They showed desire in the last few weeks, haven't they? Forest.
I saw them, trying to think where it was. Was it Hungary, Europe? I saw them, I can't remember. And they were actually different class.
But I also see that a little bit with Spurs in midweek. I thought they had that little bit more hunger to try and win the game. And I thought that'd be
West Ham are the one that I think, Saturday aside, I think they've looked as if they've got a bit about them.
Yeah.
I mean, unlucky.
But they needed to get Somerville back. Somerville was on fire, wasn't he?
Well, here's an interesting one, mate. I was at the game, he got injured at his calf, right? And I know they think they'd used all their subs so they couldn't make any. But he stayed on the pitch. And I'm thinking to myself, see if you know what it's like. See if you do a calf,
you got to get it off.
You got to go off, mate.
As soon as yeah. I mean, that could be an extra week.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that could be an extra week when you stay on.
2 games, 10 days,
Yeah,
whatever it may
absolutely.
be.
Well, we look at that now. We look at the international break, Ali. Certain clubs who've got injuries.
Yeah.
We're not too far away, or be delighted with the 2 weeks off, haven't we?
100%.
Especially down the bottom of the table.
Because of
If you
my
can get a couple of more players back in, Spurs might be in that situation. I'm not too sure what they have had some injuries. I don't know.
I don't think it's coincidence at all. And Michael Carrick is doing a fantastic job, but it's a massive thing. 1 game a week, mate. Massive game thing.
Of course
for
it is.
United.
That rest.
It's a massive. You can't.
When you're,
underestimate that.
especially with the travelling and these
Everything,
teams are going all around Europe and all that sort of stuff.
They've done well and the results have been brilliant, but it's definitely a factor. Definitely a factor, mate.
Absolutely.
Now, don't go anywhere, because coming up we will be joined by this fella.
The most difficult trophy you can earn in your career is the first one. So this is it. So if you make the comparison with City and Arsenal, of course it belongs to City. But one day it will change. Arsenal is going to win something. So the environment around Arsenal has to change, definitely.
Don't think there's any doubt about that, but it wasn't yesterday, sadly, Emmanuel. That's right. For the next 2 hours, I'm a Premier League icon, double winner, man who conquered the world with France. The legendary Emmanuel Petit is in the building and will be joining us just in about the next 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. From the wreckage of Arsenal's Carabao Cup collapse to the civil war currently erupting at Stamford Bridge, man who is here to tear into his former clubs. That was our breakfast preview, even with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
And 35 players have been named. Jason Steele has got his first call-up as part of a 5 goalkeeping battalion that also includes James Trafford, Aaron Ramsdale, Jordan Pickford and Dean Henderson. The defenders that have been included, with a bit of surprise maybe, for Kayo Tomori. John Stones has been included. Jarrell Quansah is back in the squad. Harry Maguire has got a recall as well. The other defenders, Byrne, Gahey, Hall, Konsa, Livramento, O'Reilly and Jed Spence of Tottenham Hotspur. The midfielders that have been called into the squad include James Garner, who gets a call up for the first time to the England senior squad, Anderson, Bellingham, Henderson, Mainu, who's back in after some good performances under Michael Carrick. We'll see him tonight live on talkSPORT when we bring you Bournemouth against Manchester United. Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers and Adam Wharton. And then the forwards, and there's quite a lot, but there's no room for Ollie Watkins, Bowen, Calvert-Lewin, Eze, Foden, Gordon, Kane, Madueke, Palmer, Rashford, Saka and Solanke. No Watkins in the squad. No Trent Alexander-Arnold in the squad. And actually, Gabby Agbonlaho's last statement before we went to the break was, do we think we're that good that we can afford to not have a Real Madrid right back in a 35-man squad?
Incredible.
I was looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold and his statistics. He's started 7 of the last 8. He's played 3 90 minutes since his return from injury. You were impressed with him, were you, in the game against Manchester City?
I was, both legs. Yes, he had a lot of help from Valverde and other players on that side, but when he was 1v1 with Doku, he done very well. It just baffles me. I get it. Trent is not the best of defenders. I get it.
From the
Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
I need to let the listeners know I've got two depressed boys next to me sitting watching the highlights on the television, man.
And you're watching Celtic over there.
Good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Ray with you this morning. Delighted, thrilled to say we're going all sophisticated for the next 2 hours. Yes, somebody's been doing their accountancy. We're delighted to say there's no fewer than 35 major trophies in the studio now, including the World Cup, because we're joined with a 1998 World Cup World Champion with France and 2000 European Champion, I beg your pardon, an Arsenal double winner, Emmanuel Petit. Manny, how are you, mate?
Hey, Manu.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for welcoming me here. I'm quite tired this morning.
I've got to say, I mean,
Where did you go last night?
I did.
Nowhere.
We couldn't celebrate.
I came back to the hotel at 9:30 and I went to the bed at 10. I didn't sleep at all.
No?
Tried to sleep, but couldn't.
No.
Depressed with the game?
Not really depressed, but I can't, I have to be careful of my language because sometimes I swear, on radio.
We're used to this.
It's no bother.
We're used to this.
Ray and I
Dressing
don't.
room.
No,
Ray and I don't.
I'm not going to do it. I was
Man,
very frustrated. Yeah, very.
What was the problem? I mean, I watched the game. Ray was there. You were there. I watched it. I mean, I didn't think there was an awful lot in it first half, but I thought City a better team second half.
Even in the first half, when you look at the team, that Pep Guardiola puts on the pitch from the start of the game, you can, they play without Guardiola, they play without Diaz and without Gueye. And still, look at the defense they play yesterday, City. It's not usual, the way they play defensively. And still, we had, 3 chances on the same occasion, and then that was over.
I didn't see the push, Manu. It's a cup final. They haven't won a trophy, this group of players yet. I didn't see that. Come on, we want it a bit more. Yeah. We want it a bit more. And Man City going into the game, they've just been knocked out of the Champions League. They've dropped points in the league. So I want to see a bit more desire. I want to see a bit more. We want it more than you. Because they're both good teams, don't get me wrong, but it looked like Man City were in total control. The second
let's
half.
Let's see what the manager said. Mikel Arteta cut a devastated figure at full time, and he didn't hide his pain after the whistle. This is what he had to say.
We really want it for our players and especially our supporters because we know how much they want it and they've been waiting for it. So it's very sad. We were the better team, had 2 chances, one of them probably the best chance of the game. That should have changed the course of the game, and it didn't. And these are the moments that you have to capitalize in a final against a team like they are. And in the second half, the first 18-20 minutes, we struggled to get out of that block without the ball, and especially when we got that ball back to create the situations that we wanted. And without them having any shots in the first action, a very unusual error. Cost us the first goal, and 3 minutes later in the second shot that they have all game, the second goal, and then became difficult.
I mean, it's simple and straightforward, boys. Is they didn't push forward. There wasn't enough pressure on the ball.
So much. I thought second half definitely they dropped a little bit too deep. They had a lot of space in midfield. You got so much experience, Manu, haven't they? With Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and they were just controlling a whole lot of possession, weren't they? And again, it wide to Semenyo.
It didn't seem as though there was any pressure put on them.
Everybody had to move up as a team and just go and try and play. Sometimes you've got to turn them. Don't keep playing out from the back. Just pull it in behind them and push the team up as a whole unit. And I don't think they've done that. And it just invited pressure and pressure and pressure. I know it was a mistake from the goalkeeper, the first goal, but they looked like they was the team that was going to score anyway, the first goal, if I'm being honest. Watching it from the side, I don't know about you, what you think, man.
For you, Ray, but after they scored the first goal, I had the feeling that they dropped mentally.
Yeah.
It was over, It was very difficult for Arsenal to come back. I mean, you can see the body language, on the pitch, the faces of the players. Only Declan Rice, started to do something, try to say to his teammates, come on, guys, it's not over, we have to do something in this game. And but I had the feeling from the stadium where I was seated that the game was already over.
I know what you mean. Do you know something? I think that's a fair point. I'm watching it, right, and I'm watching the second.
Where can they get this goal back from?
Yeah.
It didn't look like
you don't think it's going to happen, do you? Well, sometimes you get a feeling, well, it's only a matter of time. You never get that feeling.
There was too many people had off days, wasn't there? I mean, Saka, I think.
He's gone.
Yeah, he didn't have a good game.
Ray, where he's gone, honestly?
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, he's out of form.
The whole season.
He maybe lost a bit of confidence, I don't know, believe.
You know something? I promise you, I said maybe 3-4 months ago, I thought that Majeki at that particular time was a better prospect. Because I think at least he goes.
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree.
The little fella's listen. He said they're dropping for him. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
All players do. But it's how you get out of that dropping form.
But it's a concern.
It's not ideal this year going into the World Cup as well. If you're an England fan as well, I mean, he'd probably be playing on the right hand side.
Well,
I should imagine.
Man, you said correctly. that if you win things, the first thing's the hardest.
It's the hardest one. Yeah,
I think that was proven yesterday, wasn't it?
I've been talking, with Arsenal fans for days and days, and especially yesterday after the game, and as well this morning. And all of them, they're always saying the same thing, that they're gonna bottle, the title. They're still on run, for 3 competitions, but they won't make it. And I still believe Arsenal is going to win the Premier League.
So do I.
I'm pretty sure about that. I still believe that. I've been saying that for months now. It's not what happened yesterday that would change my mind about that. But the first trophy is always the hardest one. And I said to those fans, are you saying that Arsenal will never win a title again in their history? So I said we should close up, the stadium, sell the Emirates Stadium, and do a supermarket over there.
Yeah. What sort of supermarket?
Yeah.
No, but I know what you mean.
Costa coffee shop.
Food market.
I still think they'll be fine. Ray, the only thing I would say is the defeat yesterday, right? I know it's a show, win League Cup and all that stuff, but it could be more than just defeat. Does it get in? Does that then register in the Arsenal players' heads?
Yeah.
Certainly the one thing it does, you can't argue, it gives the City players a boost.
Absolutely.
Right? They now go, well, Arsenal have got to come to Etihad. We've already beaten them, we can beat them again.
As I said before, Manu, when you lose a game like that, you want to play as quick as you can to try and win that next game, and then everybody forgets about the one that they've got 2 weeks off now, so they're going to be like it'd be going round in their head. International break and all that. So what do you make, Manu, of the goalkeeper? I mean, is it the right thing for Raya to miss the final because he has played every game, Kepa? I can understand.
In some way, I can understand what Arteta is saying, but in a mean way, I'm thinking when you play a final, it's different. The final, I don't care how you play it, you have to win it, which means you have to put your best player on the pitch. This is one single game, and at the end of the game, you have a trophy or not. So for me, this is the big difference. Yeah. I can understand what Arteta said about Kepa, and honestly, it's nice for him to say that. But at this point, don't make feelings. No. We are talking about trophy, about winning a game. So feelings for me are not concern. But you have to make choices, for the best of the club and the best of the team and the fans.
Yeah, Trafford. Well, obviously, Man City went with Trafford. Donnarumma could have played in goal as well, and he's done the same as Arteta. But I don't think it's just down to the goalkeeper. I think the performance itself.
Yeah,
with the players. You can't just say the goalkeeper made a mistake.
Well, do you know something?
I totally agree with you.
It's the players, but the other 10 players as well.
Yeah, but the fight is, Ray, that these mistakes, kill the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Whether we like it or not, right? It's a drop in respect for the tournament. Right? And I'll tell you why it's a drop in respect for the tournament, probably by both managers. Because if it's a Champions League final or an FA Cup final or a league decider, they play their strongest team.
Yeah.
No? Yeah, definitely.
So bearing that in mind, they must... But the thing, I understand where Arteta's coming from.
Look, Pep Guardiola changed the goalkeeper.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
But if it was a Champions League final or a playoff to win the league, neither of them are changing their goalkeeper.
I think it's a lot more.
But Arsenal haven't won it.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying the players. So mentally, what an opportunity for them.
Yeah, absolutely. But in our era, when Manu we was playing together, 97, 98, and all that sort of time, Arsene Wenger would always rest all his main team, wouldn't he, for the League Cup? And a lot of youngsters would go in. And we didn't get far in it. We never probably didn't get close to winning it. But this day and age, the squad of players are so much better. They've got 26 good players.
Yeah, but the pressure was different, Ray, back in days,
Yeah.
And
he was looking at more
for the team
Premier
as well.
League. And
we were not, feeling this pressure from the press and the media and social medias, You have to win something because it's been the case, for 22 seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. Great stuff, guys. Okay, plenty more else, but come, including a chat with Piers Morgan. There's a lot of people will be looking forward to that. And up next, I'm not sure where this has come from, but we'll find out. You're winding me up. I'm not even reading that. Stay with us.
Is Eze England's best option now at number 10?
Oh.
No.
I think you've got so many options. I mean, I would say nay at the moment, yeah.
For who?
Well, you're looking at, there's so many players can play in there, aren't there? Well, Andy Sanders has just said Rodgers should be better on the left, but he can also play on number 10. You've got Bellingham, who, look, whatever season he's had, he does turn up for the big games. He can play in big games. Would he be in front of Eze? Look, Eze scored a cracking goal the other night. There's no doubt in that. And he's banged one in the FA Cup the other day. He's starting to score a few more goals, which is very important. But I'll still I don't think he'll be in that starting number 10.
No, Bellingham for me. You can't ignore Bellingham's talent, and people who do really need to take a look at themselves.
But Eze, he's putting pressure. He's putting pressure on himself. Don't get me wrong. He's putting pressure on.
Jude Bellingham doesn't get the credit he deserves for the career he's had already.
He's a young lad.
Because he rates himself. People hate him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you can be confident in your own ability.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be overconfident. But you still got to be confident. You ain't going to be a player if you're not confident going forward.
Do you remember your interview with Thomas Tuchel when he was like, I mean, my mother finds him repulsive? I was like,
I don't.
Did you come back from that?
He's not scared to leave one out, Tuchel, though. He ain't going to just pick you for the sake of it. That's what I like about the manager. Because sometimes you can pick people because their reputation and this, that, and that, whatever, but he won't do that. Tuchel will go, right, whoever deserves to play will play.
Yeah.
Is Saka guaranteed to start, Yerney?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think he would definitely start on that right-hand side, yeah.
Okay, it's 19 minutes past 8. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. It is Monday the 23rd of March. Ally, Ray and Emmanuel with you this morning. Right, it's been a topic of debate floating around the station over the weekend, just how good Pele was or wasn't. Let's hear what Jason Conte. I'm terrified. What am I going to get here?
At that time, Pele was obviously very good.
Right.
But don't tell me Pele gets an Arsenal's team now.
What do you mean?
The best side in the country. Who's he getting?
He's not getting in front of Gyökeres.
He ain't getting ahead of Saka.
Are you having a laugh?
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
I can't believe you said that.
I've
never heard you come. I've never heard you come out with so much guff.
No, but we don't.
Pele.
But we don't know how good Pele was.
What do you mean?
We are told.
What do you mean?
No, at the time.
He won 3 World
I know.
Cups.
No, I know he did, and I'm not taking that. Of course I'm not.
It's not like he played in the 1600s.
No, I know, but
we saw footage.
Yeah, we did see footage.
I'm going to do.
I don't know. What has he been? What's he
I'm
been
doing
drinking,
Conde.
Jace?
I'm doing Conde a massive favour here and moving swiftly on.
Oh, mate.
Right, I'm going to.
Pele and Jokeris. I don't know.
Are they talking about the legend Pele?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're kidding.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
But what a waste of 5 minutes that was.
Now, don't forget, with both Spurs and Chelsea losing 3-0 this weekend, the sports bar is back tonight from 10 p.m. You don't want to miss that, that's for sure. Right, it's time to get the latest odds with Coral. It's Dave Stevens.
Thank you anyway, Pele. Thanks for your time. Obrigado.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gamble where it all.
Cheers, Ed. Nice one, Ed. Obrigado.
Oh, Steve-O. How are you? Very good morning to you.
Gentlemen,
Morning,
a very,
Steve-O.
very good morning, Ray, Manu, bonjour. Look, normally I come on and I can say all sorts of silly things, but I can't beat anything what Cundy's just said there. Jace, go and have a lie down. You've clearly taken a bump on the head.
I mean, he comes up with some belters at the best of times, Steve-O, but I think that's topped a lot, that has, mate.
I don't know if talkSPORT breathalyse their presenters, but I think they probably need to on the sports bar.
Listen, mate, before we move on to... I'm going to depress you, mate.
No, we can move on. You're okay.
Yeah, QPR, Steve-O.
Oh, Steve-O, I'm looking at it, mate. What was it? I had it in front of me.
6-1.
It ain't looking good, mate.
I've been on holiday. I've been somewhere. There was no radio, no internet, no TV, no newspapers. I don't know the score.
Oh, it's going to be tough there, mate. All right, well, we'll gloss over it then.
Well, no, look, Ali, obviously we're talking about Portsmouth.
Yeah.
The bigger... wasn't just losing, but of course that's hammered our goal difference again, and it's so tight down there that could end up being, a hammer blow in itself. So,
well, Michael's getting a wee tune out of Blackburn, isn't he? Let's be honest about it. He's getting a wee tune out of Blackburn, and the baggies are a couple of wins. So, yeah,
we play next 2 games in Norwich, who incredibly, I mean, Norwich have flown up the table.
Incredible!
They were down there with us.
What a job!
And then we play Oxford, and clearly the Oxford game is, that's the cliched 6-pointer. So yeah, hard weekend for Arsenal. Ray, Manu,
yes, absolutely.
Bringing this up. Look, there's still some good news. Arsenal are 1-16 to win the title. They're 15-8 favourites to win the FA Cup. They're 9-4 to win the Champions League. They're 8-1 to win all 3 of those tournaments. So I don't think it's time to press the panic button. But I guess my question, Manu, I don't know if you can hear me, but
yeah.
Did yesterday show the difference between Pep Guardiola, a serial winner, and Mikel Arteta, who's yet to prove that he is the man to deliver trophies? Or is that being far too harsh on Arteta?
No, that's the reality. I think City has won so many trophies for the last decade, so they have experience. They know how to manage the feelings. They know how to win things. And this experience, is a huge difference, when you come into a final like this. But it doesn't explain to me what happened yesterday on the pitch, because I won't find any excuses, for the failure of Arsenal players yesterday, and as well from Arteta. I want to keep my positivity, for Arsenal. I still believe that they are going to win the title at the end of the season. I'm not sure about the Champions League, because they have top guns, as well. They have a proper way, to go until the semi-final, probably to the final. But lucky to avoid, those big guns, Bayern Munich, things like this, Real Madrid. But for the FA Cup is something different. But for me, the most important actually is the Premier League, because the gap, between the two teams, you definitely have to win it. Because if you don't, I think that would be unforgivable.
That's the one. Steve-O, I'm moving down to the bottom of the league. I know I've not got a lot of time. Dear me, I've got it down to Leeds. anything below Leeds. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the betting says, Ali. Look, if we say again, and we've said it for a long time, Wolves are gone, Burnley are gone. But beyond that one final spot, and look, if there's any crumbs of comfort for Arsenal fans, it's the plight of Tottenham, who, as far as we're concerned, West Ham even money favourites to go down, Tottenham 5-4. Then there is a bit of a gap, 9-2 Nottingham Forest, 5-1 Leeds. But you're right, the table definitely has Leeds and Forest in it. But yeah, I mean, between Tottenham and West Ham, the betting says one of these huge London clubs with huge stadiums is going to be playing their football in the Championship. And that's scary and depressing for West Ham and Tottenham fans. Who's going to be replacing them? Who's coming up from the Championship? Ipswich now, 4-7. This is to be promoted. If we say Coventry are up 1-1,000, Ipswich 4-7, Middlesbrough 8-13. But loads of teams in the hunt, obviously, via the playoffs. Ally, Millwall, Southampton, Hull, all in there. And then we've got to go up to Scotland, Ali.
Oh, just about to answer that question, Steve. I had it down, written down.
Enough of this English.
Celtic.
Enough of this English football, Steve. Tell us the heartbeat of European football. What's happening up the road?
I know, look, this must be hard for you, Ali, because clearly you want Rangers, who are 6-4 second favourites.
Clearly I do.
To win the SPL. But so many other people watching this will be thinking, if Hearts can hold on, and they're 5-4 favourites. Celtic out to 5-2 after obviously that defeat at the weekend. What would it be? More than 40 years since Sir Alex led Aberdeen to break the stranglehold of the old firm. Scotland are in a World Cup. Hearts go and win the SPL. Scottish football will be on a high, Ali. Put your Rangers hat to one side for once.
No, Steve, I've got to tell you, it's brilliant. Up the road, right? If you're a Celtic fan, you want Celtic to win it. If you don't win it, you want Hearts to win it. If you're a Rangers fan, you want Rangers to win it. If they don't win it, you want Hearts to win it, right? If Hearts, you want Hearts to win it. You're no born who else win it. If Hibs, you want MD to win it, but Hearts.
We've not even mentioned Motherwell.
I've never known it as exciting, Steve. I've got to say, but I mean, at the weekend, it was definitely a good weekend for Hearts and Rangers. Of that, there's no doubt. Hearts, comfortable 1-0 victory against Dundee, and Rangers. I watched the game yesterday, Saturday evening, pretty comfortable against Aberdeen, and Celtic well beaten at Dundee United, mate, for the second time.
Yeah, which you've enjoyed saying, haven't you? But no, listen, I genuinely, I think it's got people watching the SPL the title race that just wouldn't be. And as I say, the romantic in us all, Ray, we want Hearts to hold on, don't we?
Absolutely. Sorry, Ali.
When did you two become a romantic? That's the question I'm asking. That's what we really want to know. Steve, great to see you, mate. Have a lovely week.
Cheers, fellas.
Take care, pal. Football, all the usual updates after the weekend, including Championship promotion and SPL title. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org. Now, coming up, is Liam Rossignol already under pressure?
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
How do you feel that Jamie's wearing your mask? How do you feel about that?
I can't even see him. I can't see him.
I haven't got the mask on. I haven't got the mask on.
Fully got
I
it
can't see
on.
it.
Breathing in there the lot.
Do you know what? All I can say is I wish I had the mask on now.
To be fair, you look like Ange.
That's just who we are, mate.
Your team play like
Seriously though, mate.
Is this it? Can we end it now?
mate. You've turned into a meme club, you are.
Can
You're
we
a
end
meme
this
club.
interview now?
No.
Hold on, say that again.
You've turned into a meme football club.
I remember. I mean, the last week, I don't think I've ever known a week like it, right? So you go back to Wednesday of last week and 74 minutes on the clock, and you think about what's happened. Conceded 5 goals in 30 minutes.
Slap.
Jesus Christ. Listen,
has anyone seen Candy? Dennis Wise.
Right, okay, hold on.
Solar.
Yeah, hold on.
Listen, who's that? Who's that?
No, leave it, man. Leave it. No, leave it. No, I'm doing this. No.
But did you think you would come from 3-0 down? Did he think he'd come from 3-0 down?
He was confident. It was encouraging signs, he said.
Are you
Encouraging signs.
PSG?
I'm a United fan.
He's a bloody United fan.
Hey!
Don't swear.
Come on, boys. Listen, at the end of the day.
Hold on, who are you playing in the Champions League?
No, listen, who's going to play next year? Who's going to play next year?
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year, it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Okay, Monday the 23rd of March. What time is it? 8:34. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will have the car for you. Ali, Ray and Emmanuel with you this morning. I've got one come in here from Ross. Ross says, Ali, is that right about Hibs fans wanting anything but Hearts? I've got a few Hearts mates that would rather Hibs win a trophy than Celtic or Rangers. Well, I can assure you, Ross, any Hibs fan, and I mean any Hibs fan I've spoke to, right, wants anybody to win it rather than Hearts. Maybe you know something I don't. Now, Manchester City, Ryan Cherky, what a player he is, by the way.
Yeah, he played well.
He's a good player. Where did I see him? Where was he? Was it Marseille? No, it wasn't. It was Lyon.
Lyon, yeah.
Oh, man.
He's young on top of it.
I tell you, man, he played Rangers a couple of years back in the Europa League. He was fantastic, mate.
He was under critics, for years at Lyon because everybody was saying that he was such a great player with such a bright talent, for the future. And but he was kind of playing well one game, and then all of a sudden he was sleeping for 2-3 other games, and then he was not regular,
Yeah.
He was young, and I think he didn't experience, the excellence that you can have when you play for top clubs. That's why I think that was probably the best service he could give to himself to sign for Manchester City and to be managed by Pep Guardiola.
How old is he now, Ali?
21, I think.
21. Wow. Very good. Big future.
He would be at the World Cup, for France.
Yeah. O'Reilly.
And Nico O'Reilly's 21 as well.
He's 21 as well.
Wow.
Actually, they've got a young side. They have got a young side, one or two. I tell you what, come on. Kusanov is beginning to grow on me. He played right back in the Bernabeu against Vinicius Junior.
Yeah.
I thought he was okay, but Pep clearly trusts him. Trusts him, he plays him in there very quick. Okay, we're moving on. Ben White clearly wasn't a fan of his showboating as he quickly went in heavy on Cherky. There's a shock. Picking up a booking for his troubles. Alan Pardew labelled it one of the most disrespectful things you can do in football. That was Alan speaking on the final word last night.
Juggling with the ball like that is an insult in the pro game.
Did he get...
I see actually Pep was sort of shaking his head.
He got weighed in as well by White.
Yeah, and then quite...
And rightly so.
Yeah. If you're a pro footballer... That is a no-go.
Is that the ultimate insult as a pro footballer?
One of them.
I think I'm with Alan. I don't think you do.
You know something? Yeah, I'm with you. But it's one of those ones. Let's be honest about it.
I think Terry's done it a few times.
Well, that's the bottom line. If it's your player, right, and you're a fan...
Don't be surprised.
He's getting a bit. He's getting a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he did it. A couple of seconds before that. He tried to flick the ball. And the Manchester City fans were clapping him. And
I think we would have took turns in our team.
Yeah, right. I get that.
Can you do that in front of Martin Keown,
exactly.
Exactly. Roy Keane, those guys?
Ain't happening. But here's a question for you. Here's my question for you. Right? I think the fans. I mean, I don't have any doubt. I think fans watching that game yesterday, some of the neutrals would think, oh, that's great, right? See if it's your teammate. Do you have words with him? See, that's the thing. We're sitting here saying, well, if it's against us, we're giving him a bit of that. We're getting, But if your teammate does it,
I don't think
do you say to him, "Oh, you so you can't be doing
the
that.
game or after the game?"
Either. Or do you let him away with it?
If you are intelligent, you don't fall into the trap. You keep your temper and then you try to beat him, on properly, I mean, it's easy, to let your nerves, slipping, like that on the pitch, And for me, it's more difficult, to keep your nerves and trying to beat that team, properly.
Yeah.
I can understand what Ben White did, but in some way, I knew he should know better than that, He knew that that was coming, Cherky was expecting his reaction.
I'd have volleyed
him.
I'd have volleyed him myself.
Yeah, you would have done that. Yeah, sure.
She would have.
That's the difference.
100%. We used to do it in training. Man,
I will not do that, but the following action, I will do it, properly with the ball.
Mate, we used to have, at training, Scotland versus England games, right?
Yeah, but you're talking
and they had to stop them. They had to stop the games.
You're talking about the big rivalry between two countries.
Who won though, Ellie? That's all I know.
Who won?
England would have won that. Hey, Gazzo, Terry
Butcher, Wilkins.
Definitely England.
We used to battle them every Friday. Come on. Right, we're going to give you a break from the Arsenal pain for a moment. We'll have to take a look now at your other former club, Manu, in particular a manager, Chelsea. Here we go.
Fired in quite beautifully by Seni Mayulu. It's 3-0. Cue the mass exodus from Stamford Bridge of Chelsea fans.
You can lose, but 8-2 in aggregate is bad.
How did it finish here? Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1.
Showed the players the league table up until today. In terms of my time with this group, we're third in the league.
There's always another excuse.
And it's well and truly game over here. Everton 3, Chelsea 0.
Get him out of the club and get a proper manager in. This Chelsea team are still capable of getting into the Champions League spots this year. With this manager, that is not going to happen.
Oh, dear me. Right, we're moving on to all things Chelsea. Manu, Ray, I've got to say, it's been a terrible couple of weeks, hasn't it? We can't hide it. You look at it. I mean, we'll talk Champions League football later on in the programme this morning, where the four teams lost 28. The four teams that get knocked out lost 28 goals between the four of them.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Chelsea. We'll concentrate on Chelsea for the next 5-10 minutes or so. I mean, what is going on? From the huddle with the referee in the middle, I mean, the comments from the manager saying my players were respecting the ball, which was baffling at least.
As I said before,
what's going on, guys?
I said before, sometimes as managers, you don't say too much. And I think Liam, I know, look, he's a really intelligent young man. But sometimes you
think
give
he's
him,
too open.
You give him too much. You give the press too much ammunition, and they just wait with it until you know. And I think Andy Townsend, who I respect, come out and said that he's the captain of Chelsea over the years. Just play them, like managers do. Look at the best managers in the world. They don't give you too much. The press, but I think Liam gives him too much to play on, and they do it because that's what the press want. And I think he's coming to look. The keeper's having a bit of a mare as well, isn't he?
Oh dear,
he's making too many mistakes. You always got to have a good goalkeeper if you're going to be successful.
Well, you two know that. You two know that.
Dave Seaman
and we're talking about effectively about Kappa making a mistake at the weekend. This fella's been making mistakes.
Well, especially against Arsenal
for a long time. But what's the problem? I mean, what
do you make of it, man?
What do you think, man? Particularly of the new manager, Liam Senior coming in.
Well, he was doing a great job at Strasbourg, and I think he should have thought about it twice before accepted, the job at Chelsea, because the step, I think, is too high for him. Actually, I think he's a good manager, but he's still young. He has to learn, so many things, before managing a top club like Chelsea, and it was a pity to watch him, on the bench so many times, especially after the game away at Paris Saint-Germain. The communication straight after the game was a loser.
Yeah.
The messages he sent to his players, to the fans, was okay. We were scoring 2 goals. We were almost there, to score the third goal, and all of a sudden you concede 3 goals and we lose the game 5-2, and there is no way we're gonna come back, in 1 week at Stamford Bridge. This is exactly the message he sends to everyone. So when you're a manager and you're managing a top club like Chelsea, you can't do that. And the way he's acting as well, the communication, the way he's acting, the body language, on the bench, the way, you always try to write things down, on the paper, things like that, give him the paper to his players. I mean, come on.
I don't like that. I think that's absolute nonsense, to be brutally honest with you. You can get a message on to your players.
I know.
They don't get it, to be honest with you.
Correct.
You 8-2 down,
You don't get it.
If you're over the side
it was the case, 20 years ago as well. We don't get it. So don't do that.
Yeah.
We're not stupid. We're not kids.
Correct.
So just try to behave, in the right way, because, I don't know if you see the image, of what happened the last game against, when they lost 3-0 against Everton this weekend. I saw the game on Saturday, and after the third goal, he tried to make some substitution, and he writes something down, and he turned very quickly to his players, he was about to come into the pitch, and he showed him something. But if you have a quick look on the player behind him, the way they look at the manager tells me a lot,
Yeah, 100%. I don't have a problem.
I really want him to do well as well.
Listen,
I think he's a decent guy.
A really nice guy.
Do you know what I don't have a problem with? I do not have a problem with a manager or coach sitting, writing something down, because you're watching the game and you maybe see some and you write it down and say, I'll maybe use that at half time. Or I can,
that's fine.
Talk to your players. Stop writing things like this,
Don't have a problem with it. But here's my question to you. How important is it bouncing back after a sore one? I'm looking at Newcastle, right? Really sore one.
Yes.
I'm looking at Chelsea. Really sore one. And all of a sudden, poor results again at the weekend. Pressure. They'll then get the break. I mentioned to Craig, I don't necessarily think the break for Newcastle is a bad thing, to be honest with you.
They clean their mind.
Yeah. Is it the same with Chelsea, do you think?
I think so too, yeah. When, I was at the game at Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and I watched, the faces. For me, the faces, are very important after a game. When you lose or you win, the way you behave, together, the way you look at yourself when you concede a goal or when you score a goal, the way you celebrate goals. For me, it tells you a lot of things, on the pitch. And what happened, at Chelsea, both games against Paris Saint-Germain, after the first goal they conceded at Stamford Bridge, it was like, I've seen that yesterday at Wembley with Arsenal. Gave up straight away. There is no way we're going to come back into this game. And the behavior, the faces of the player, they were looking at their feet. They were looking down. No one was there, to see, come on, guys, it's not over. We have something to do. So this break is coming at the right time for everyone. And when you look at what Enzo Fernandez said about on this, I think it's a press in Argentina or Mexico. He did an article, a couple of days ago. He was saying that something has been broken when Maresca left the club.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure about that.
Well, it's amazing. You look at Manny, I think sometimes, I honestly believe that we're just too quick to press the sack button. Would Spurs still been better off with Ange? Would Chelsea been better off with Maresca? I mean, Spurs are now looking to get rid of their caretaker manager. The whole world's gone crazy. I need to go to a break. It's 8:46.
You feel that Arne Slot is getting his excuses in early before they meet PSG?
I just think that ultimately Liverpool have had a great result and well done them. And people suggesting that Arne Slot was under pressure for this game, they've come out and smashed Galatasaray.
Right.
Fantastic. But I don't like managers building in some comfort zone into... There's no need to build up PSG as a boogeyman. There's every suggestion that you shouldn't be sitting there on television like I was advocating for a moment ago saying, we're going to smash PSG, because I know that puts you as a hostage to fortune.
Right.
But there's no need to start building in how good PSG are, what they are and what they're not. Who cares? How good are you and what do you do? And there's no need to build in the fact that you're playing Brighton on Saturday at 12:30, because, by the way, Brighton haven't got the same sort of squad as you got.
All right.
So,
but surely last night against Galatasaray, it was a near perfect performance. Is that not what Liverpool fans worldwide have been calling out for? And is it going to go anyway to calming the Slot sceptics, of whom there are many? Ian, big Liverpool fan, you're first up again. What would you like to say? Good morning.
Hi, lads. Okay.
Good, Ian.
I totally agree with Simon. You get like a buffer in place there before we play them. You shouldn't be saying things like that. We should just be playing PSG. They're a good side. They won it last year. But at the end of the day, we're Liverpool Football Club. And what we've got to do is just get at them and the same type of tempo we played last night. That's what we need even more. So I totally agree with Simon. Sometimes in some of his language he says on the interviews, it does sound like he's getting excuses in early, and it gets on my nerves. He fails to realise he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Okay, great show this morning. Thoroughly enjoying it. 8:51. Ali, Emmanuel, and Ray with you this morning. Right, what do we know this Monday morning? I'm going to tell you 2 Brentford players intervened in an alleged assault in the early hours of this morning after they rushed to help a man who was being attacked in south-west London. I think it might have been Sunday morning or late Saturday. I'm not sure.
Was it?
Anyway, it's not
a little
good.
bit like who was it? Kolasinac, wasn't it? In Ozil.
Well, remember that
with the car.
Ah,
and they come up.
what's
Kolasinac was a big powerhouse.
He looked as though he was more than capable.
And they certainly run when they saw him. See you later.
Ollie Watkins ended a 6-match goal drought as Aston Villa boosted their chances of qualifying for the Champions League with a victory against West Ham. That's a great result for them, giving them a bit of a gap between themselves and Liverpool. It's time to take a glance northeast and react to yesterday's Time derby with Village Hotels.
Durham's derbies on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. 34 winning locations across the UK with everything under one roof. Book now at villagehotels.com.
Now, Newcastle legend Alan Shearer, I need to tell you about him, by the way. I was doing a commentary on Newcastle Man United, and just before the game kicks off, I'm getting all my notes and all that stuff. Somebody batters me back in the head. Again, batter in the back of the head. Somebody's throwing sugar lumps at me, right? Big massive sugar lump, and I'm going like, who the? Shearer, wasn't it? It was only Shearer. Shearer. He's hiding behind his pal, lobbing sugar cubes at me. Anyway, he was in a bad mood at the weekend. He slammed the Eddie House side for the weak and pathetic second half performance after losing another Time derby at St James's Park 2-1 to Sunderland. Now, pressure mounting on how he spoke to talkSPORT about how something isn't quite working within the team.
Yeah, we're very much trying to win it. I think that was very much in our thought process. I think we have to be that way. But we just needed to make better decisions on the ball. And of course we need to defend those situations better, and we didn't. And that's sort of not an isolated incident. I think that's the painful thing. We've been in this position before this season and we've executed similar things. So certainly something isn't quite working and we're not quite functioning to the way that we need to. So we'll obviously endeavour to be stronger.
Okay, boys, where are we at this moment in Newcastle? I mentioned that absolute battering they got in Barcelona, come back, and they couldn't have had a worse result from their fans' point of view, losing the derby game. No, once again, I don't think there's any Gamarias and Sandro Tonali.
Tonali's a big player, isn't he?
Visa's something wrong with Visa. I think he was on the bench. He's not hit the ground running. Voltamado's struggling a bit.
He's struggled.
Where are we with Newcastle?
I think there's big problems, if I'm being honest. I know they take over and whatever, but I don't like all the reports in the papers at the back saying, there's going to be exodus of players leaving. Gomeris is linked with other teams, and Tonali and Gordon. You know, all their best players are going to be moving on. And look, it was a massive rise in how they done. I think Eddie done a wonderful job to get in Champions League and all that sort of stuff, but it's catching up with them now with the fair play situation and what you've got to do. Yeah. It's killing quite a few. Like Aston Villa doing. That's why Aston Villa are doing so well.
Well, see, this is the thing, and
they've got nothing to spend, Aston Villa.
But this is the difference. I think it's a difference, and give me your opinion on it. This is why I think actually, I know Newcastle won a cup, which is great, but I think this is a really important period, probably more so at this moment in time for Newcastle than it is for Villa, because I think Villa are going to qualify for Champions League, and I think that's might be the difference. Villa might keep Rodgers, they might keep their top players. Whereas Newcastle might be a different scenario.
Yeah, I think it's quite difficult to understand why Guimaraes left. I don't get it. And apparently he's in link, to come back here in the Premier League at Manchester United, something like that. So very, very hard, to understand from outside, what's happening, at Newcastle. I think they don't have the squad, enough players, for the rotation and to play all the different competition. But I'm not that sure that Aston Villa will qualify for the Champions League, to be honest with you. I think how many games to go?
Seven games to go.
They have 5 points clear to
Liverpool and 4.
Liverpool, so...
And Liverpool, I think, 3 points clear to Everton.
But their form, Manu, is not good. Liverpool's form, Chelsea's form.
But inconsistency as well with Aston Villa, they won yesterday, but...
They're getting a few players back now. McGinn, he scored again yesterday.
He's massive for them.
He's massive.
John is absolutely massive for Villa. I don't think there's any...
That's a big plus for him. And he gets other people around him playing as well.
Yeah.
So,
but it's the inconsistency. That's why I think Villa will be all right. The inconsistency surrounding. Listen, Villa have to a certain degree. I know they won at the weekend, but they have been inconsistent. But I was at Liverpool Wednesday.
Yeah.
Excellent. I know it was Galatasaray and Liverpool, but Liverpool were excellent. And I'm thinking to myself, well, they've got to go and put on a performance at Brighton. Beat Chelsea. Comfortably beat.
It's hard to predict. What do you reckon against Paris Saint-Germain?
Oh, I mean,
because people in France, especially in Paris, they were laughing about what Slot said after the game. He said, "Yeah, I think Paris Saint-Germain won't be easy, to meet again Liverpool after what happened last season." And people were laughing on stage. Yeah, because
I mean, you know what I think of Paris. I love Paris. I mean, their performance in last year's Champions League final is as good a performance at that level of dismantling a team in a European final as I've seen.
They seem to get better.
I mean, I take it back to was it the AC Milan team battered somebody 4-0 in the final, and it was a tremendous performance. That was as good. PSG were unbelievable against
the way they play. Yeah,
they seem to get better as the tournament goes on, don't they? Remember last week when they nearly got knocked out?
Well, that's the thing.
It's November.
We spoke about it before in Paris.
Yes,
man. It's about, particularly in that tournament, it's about peaking at the right time. Are PSG doing it right now?
Yeah, the DNA.
What, the 4-0 at the weekend, was it 4-0 they won?
I mean, the way they play, they come back, at the best level, and this is something I don't get it, with Chelsea, because people are saying that Chelsea are dead, physically, they don't run anymore, the stats are here, but they play the same amount of game that Paris Saint-Germain last season. They had the same troubles, with injured players from the start of the season, and they play with every single game with a different first 11.
Yeah.
And still, look what they've done the last two games against Chelsea, and they are ready, for the fight. So be careful, Liverpool. Paris Saint-Germain are becoming the same threat than they've been last season.
The only thing about it as well, they can rest players at the right times, can't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Liverpool can't.
No.
They need to be in that top 4, top 5 for Champions League football next year. So they can't afford to leave out or Ekitike and Paris Saint-Germain can't they, Manu? If you're playing the bottom sides in France, no disrespect to French league.
As I said,
it's not like playing Burnley or West Ham who are fighting for their lives. It's you've got to be at every single game. A man who's played in the Premier League knows. 97, 98, how many hard games did we have?
You have to fight hard, every single game, yeah.
So that's the difference.
You know what I love them? I mean, PSG, the football last year, incredible, right?
Their fans as well.
Midfield in front, superb. I love the fullbacks. They might have the two best fullbacks in the world.
I mean, I'm deeply in love with Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
The left winger.
Me too. He might be my favourite player at the moment.
He's such
love him.
A terrific player, Every time he touches the ball, something's happening on the pitch. Movement of his teammates, the scare from the opponents, you can feel it, you can see it from outside.
I remember.
That's what you need.
That final last year, I think PSG were 3-0 up, and one of the fullbacks went, it might have been DeMarco, I can't remember who it was, and Kvaratskhelia chased him 70 yards all the way back, won the ball in his left back position, or right back position, went away again. I thought, different class. Great stuff, lads. That chat was all thanks to Village Hotels. Okay, still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Arsenal, I've seen enough. We are going to win the league. I wouldn't be surprised if we win it by mid-March.
Yeah, win, lose or draw. Piers Morgan's never short of a word on Arsenal. After victory, Arteta's the Messiah. After defeat, he has to go. We're going to speak to Piers next. Stay tuned.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
What does that framework look like? Are we talking about like back end of summer? We could see AJ back in the ring if it all goes well. You know, where is it? And do we still get that Tyson Fury fight possibly at the back end of this year?
I think that him fighting in the summer is hopefully what we're working towards. But it's very different him training as he has been and going back into a proper full-on camp. And I think that's what we have to see over the next few weeks, how he gets back into those full camps, those training sessions. The Fury fight is the one everyone wants. We all want it. We're all fans.
2 years, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, if AJ fights in the summer, it's 2 years. Put Jake Paul to one side, all respect, but it's 2 years since a competitive fight. So there's going to have to be some finessing and ensuring that he can get to the levels that require him to be able to fight someone like Fury.
I think the problem we've got, obviously, with Anthony Joshua, and a massive hurdle he has to overcome is this psychological damage that he's got going in there, and that's bigger than the physical battle. That's bigger than the warm-up fights, etc., etc. And that's where none of us are going to be able to give those answers until AJ sort of.
Well, I think in part that battle has been embraced by Anthony by saying he wanted to fight. I think most people were expecting him not to. I think people saw him in London post the circumstances in December and felt that there was very little chance that Anthony was psychologically and physically wanting to fight again. That he made that choice himself. So I think he's embraced that battle already.
And he's 100% positive that is the case, Frank. He wants to fight again. He wants to fight this year.
Yeah, look, it's his life. As I say, it's all he's known and it's all he's focused on for the last 17, 18 years since he went to the Olympics and won the gold medal and then became world champion.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Labou, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Labou had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Right. Monday, 23rd of March, 7 minutes past 9. Very good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark, our good friends at Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali, Manu and Ray with you this morning. Reading ahead here, the Gunners post-mortem this morning because yesterday more League Cup heartache, I'm afraid, and it was live on talkSPORT. Delighted to say that joining us now is a man who promised us in this very show that Arsenal would not only win the quadruple but would also have the league wrapped up by his, it says 71st birthday here now. That might be taking a liberty in 7 days. It's the world's most vocal Arsenal fan, Piers Morgan. Good morning, Piers, or is it a good morning, my friend?
Good morning, Piers.
Can I just say that when your brilliant team, well, good morning first of all, Ali, and particularly of course to Ray and Emmanuel, two great heroes of mine. When I agreed to do this interview, obviously I did so in the overconfident expectation that I would be regaling your listeners, and indeed the three of you, with my joyous recounting of Arsenal's triumphant victory. So to say that when I woke up this morning and suddenly remembered what I had to do was one of the worst moments of my life is the understatement of the millennium. But anyway, good morning to you.
Listen, we do appreciate at least it wasn't a no-show, Piers. It wasn't a no-show.
No, I didn't pull an Adam Brazil.
No, there was no slight strain in the hamstring from you this morning, to be fair. Where did it go wrong?
Well, we didn't turn up, did we? Yeah. And there is an issue here. I mean, look, I've been listening this morning. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the difference between Arteta and Guardiola, I think, was laid bare a little bit yesterday with this decision about the goalkeeper. Because when Arteta came to Arsenal, he said the one thing he'd really learned from Pep was you've got to be ruthless if you want to win things. And the truth is, the ruthless decision would have been to have played Raya, who is right now arguably the best goalkeeper in the world in sensational form. And you would do that in a heartbeat if you're a ruthless manager. And I saw Arteta's justification for it, and I was like, okay, fine. There's a bit of sentiment in there, and I understand it, and it may make you popular with Kepa and with the other players. They may appreciate that, but no one in the end is going to appreciate losing a final because you played your second string goalkeeper. And I just think you've got to play your best 11 when you get to a final if you're a team like Arsenal, particularly if you haven't won a trophy in many years, as we haven't. Secondly, there's an issue with Arsenal when we play the bigger clubs, is that I do think we set up to not lose rather than to try and win the game. I felt this very strongly at the start of the season in the league when we went to Liverpool, and they were there for the taking, as we now know, because they played pretty poorly all season. And we just played to defend and not lose that match. And as a consequence, we lost. And I just watched it yesterday. I was there, and I watched this, and I thought the first half we were, it was a pretty dull first half, but we were competitive. We probably even slightly edged it. But in the second half, City came out like a steam train, and we had absolutely no response to it. I mean, we just literally rolled over. And I thought particularly their attacking play just consumed us compared to what we were doing to them at the front. I mean, our attacking players basically went missing, and I think that was the problem.
Well, Piers, I look at it in that second half, and I just want to see a bit more. Look, we know they're quality players, everybody, but I just want to see. They haven't won a trophy. This would be their first trophy they've won. Yeah. I mean, Man City have won numerous of trophies. You've got Rodri, Bernardo Silva. Their trophy cabinet's full up.
There's a general feeling in here.
I want to see a little bit more desire. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
This
is our first trophy.
General feeling in here between the three of us that Arsenal didn't do enough to go and win it.
No, 100%. I mean, also, I just think that we've got to have some difficult conversations at the moment. I mean, I think Saka looks exhausted to me. Yeah. And that's not just an issue for Arsenal. It's an issue for England with the World Cup. I don't know why he didn't start Madueke instead of Saka, because Madueke was rested early in the week. I also don't know why he didn't bring on Damon, who completely transformed a game for us in the last week and winning it almost on his own. Dalman sitting there and then running up and down the touchline, just bringing him on would have ignited the Arsenal fans, would have ignited the team. And there was none of that. And instead, it just looked like Arteta. I'm a massive fan of Arteta now. I think he's been brilliant for Arsenal. But we've got to start winning things. And we're not going to get a better chance than this season. And the first real test we had against a City team that is, all right, they're slightly revived, but they're not one of the great City teams by any means. And yet they came out, whatever Guardiola said to them in half-time, clearly galvanised them better than what Arteta said to our team. And I just felt he suddenly ran out of ideas, Arteta. And, I think most Arsenal fans, we all trudged out afterwards, all thinking the same thing, is that we just didn't turn up.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Well, I still think, though, Piers, look, I mean, we're all disappointed this morning if you're an Arsenal fan, but there's still so much to play for. It still could be a fantastic season for Arsenal, so you still got to get behind it.
Well, listen,
100%.
Well, there's the next question. They're going to win. My next question would be this: the disappointment of yesterday. Can that manifest and give you a serious problem moving forward?
Well, I can, but look, I've said for a number of years that I didn't think the League Cup was worth bothering about because in recent years, most of the big clubs have not fielded their strongest teams. And there's an irony about that, given the team we put out yesterday with our reserve goalkeeper. That's the kind of thing teams like Arsenal and City and Liverpool and others used to do a lot. They used to field, pretty substandard teams and rest most of the first 11. That's changed a bit, and so the League Cup's become more meaningful, I think, as a trophy to win. But we've got to. I mean, look, Arteta was right to say we've got to use this defeat as fuel to fire up the rest of the season. We've got 2 months left. We're in 3 competitions. They're all more important than the League Cup. Let's be honest about that. We'd rather win the FA Cup than the League Cup. We'd rather win the Champions League than the FA Cup. And the absolute priority, I think, for 98% of the Arsenal fan base is that we win the Premier League for the first time in 22 years. And we are 9 points clear. We can afford to lose at City. We can afford to lose another game. And with the goal difference, we'd still be champions. Yeah. But if these guys go back to the training camp, they've got a few days off now, which is, I think, a good thing. But if they go back with the wrong attitude that, we're not winners, we can't do it, if they go back a little bit paralysed, then City could catch us. City was to be under no illusion, Arsenal fans. Guardiola will have that City team absolutely up and pumping that they can still win the league. And what I want to see, I look at the players yesterday, and I've been interested in what you guys think, because whenever I watch Ray or Emmanuel, right, I never saw less than 110% commitment. I don't think you could say that about all the Arsenal players yesterday, whether that's tiredness, whether it's freezing on the big stage, lack of experience in finals, I don't know what it was. But we need more players, to me, like Declan Rice and Gabriel and Saliba yesterday were both superb. We need more players with that fire in their bellies and the ferocity that is going to drive us to win titles. And too many yesterday went missing. Now, why they went missing is for them and their conscience and their coach. But we cannot afford to do that in the remaining league games.
Just a quick one. It's been a disappointing, obviously, result for you yesterday. Piers, was the blow softened anyway? What happened in North London, mate?
Well, it was funny being I was in the Bobby Moore suite at Wembley, and every time Forest scored, a massive cheer went up in the Bobby Moore suite. I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal fans cheering a rival team goals more than we did. And when they won 3-0, there was like almost a standing ovation in the Bobby Moore suite. So yeah, look, it would obviously, my dream of the quintuple has sadly crumbled. We can now only win the quadruple: Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, and Spurs going down. And that is still on, Arsenal fans. So let us rally together. Let us rally, go forward and win. Remember the words of Winston Churchill. Let us go forward together. Never give in. We will prevail.
I never short a word or two, but comparing yourself with Winston Churchill, that's a new one for me, Piers. Take care, mate.
Well done, Piers.
Have a good week.
All the best, guys.
He should be on a pitch.
Yeah, we need him in central midfield.
Yeah. 9:16. We're going to take a wee break. See you shortly.
You know, he's Brazil's all-time goal scorer.
I don't care.
He's got more goals than Pele.
Was Pele all that? Was he all that, Pele? Would Pele get in to Arsenal's team now?
Hold on. What do you mean?
Would Pele get in Arsenal's team now? Would he get ahead of Martinelli?
You don't think Pele's any good?
I never saw it. I mean, all I've seen is
you're not having him better. You don't think he's better than Gyökeres?
I don't know whether Pele was as good as everyone said.
He won 3 World Cups.
I know, but that was back then, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
I know.
You're not having Pele?
No, it's a little bit like someone winning. Let's say back in like the
hat-trick in a World Cup final.
Let's say like in the early 1800s, early 1900s, someone won Wimbledon 25 times. They're not going to be better than Federer or Djokovic.
Right, but Pele can't help the fact that he was born in whenever he was born in the 60s.
At that time, Pele was obviously very good.
Right.
But don't tell me Pele gets an Arsenal's team now.
What do you mean?
The best side in the country. Who's he getting?
He's not getting in front of Gyökeres.
He ain't getting ahead of Saka.
Are you having a laugh?
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
I can't believe you said that.
I've never
heard you come. I've never heard you come out with so much guff.
No, but we don't.
Pele.
But we don't know how good Pele was.
What do you mean?
We are told.
What do you mean?
No, at the time,
he won 3 World Cups.
No, I know he did, and I'm not taking that. Of course, I'm not.
It's not like he played in the 1600s.
No, I know, but
we saw footage.
Yeah, we did see footage.
Well, just what we need on a Monday morning, a rallying cry from Piers Morgan. That's got us on. That was just what we need, just what the doctor ordered. talkSPORT breakfast. Ally Emmanuel with us this morning. Let's hear from Leo Rossinha following Saturday's 3-0 loss at Everton. Really poor performance from Chelsea at the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a tough week. These players, some of them, this isn't an excuse. This is a reality for some of these players have played already the most games in a season they've played in their career. Up to this point. What I need to do and what I need to do better is make better decisions in terms of team selection, how we freshen the team up, how we rotate the team to make sure that we're competitive in these games. I think having the international break now has probably come at the perfect time for us to regather, restock, and also we have some clear weeks in the weeks to come where we can actually get on the training pitch for the first time and work with these players in what we want.
Right, accept the bit at the end, right? I think that's important on the training pitch.
Ground,
But I ain't having that, it's more than some of these games these players have played and all that stuff. Come on, that's not what the Chelsea fans want to hear. We're talking about a level of performance here. The level of performance the last few games has been extremely poor. First thing you've got to say, and we've not done enough of it today, we've got to say brilliant Everton, brilliant Sunderland, all those kind of things. But we're looking at Chelsea at this moment in time. No, that performance at the weekend and those performances and the defeat against PSG hasn't got anything to do with players having too many games.
No, that's ridiculous. This is an excuse that I can hear. Honestly,
you can't feel tired.
Paris Saint-Germain has played the same amount of games. Look what they're doing. But you cannot compare Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea because they are different level. Yeah. But when a manager tries to find that kind of excuses, I think he's putting finger in front of him and he's trying to hide himself behind his finger. Because for me, troubles at Chelsea has been quite the same for months now. Defensively, the structure of the team, the confidence of some players, the spirit of the team as well has gone. I think it was better under Maresca. It's worse. It's getting worse game after game.
I agree, and they've had a problem for. I think I know Levi Cole was a big.
Have you seen Everton game?
I watched the highlights.
It's such a shame to watch. Yeah. The players on the pitch. The way, as I said before, the faces of the players. The way they behave on the body language. Everything was poor to watch.
It's amazing, isn't it? But you're right. Sorry, Ray. I'm just going to say, you can tell. You don't need to be a football coach or a brilliant man. If you're looking at a game of football, body language tells you an awful lot.
If the manager's saying, it was too many games and this, that, whatever.
You start giving the players.
The players go, I've got an excuse now.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel tired.
Oh, sorry.
And I feel a little bit tired.
Can I have a rest?
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't say that. You just got to try and keep going. Come on.
And I know
everyone is in the same boat.
You don't want to sound like dinosaurs. See, if your coach or manager come up to you and said, "Look, I want to give you a rest," you didn't want a rest.
The fan, they don't understand that because Chelsea has bought so many players for the last few years. So if you have players tired, then you can make a turnover. So why are you trying to find this kind of excuse at the end of the season? I don't get it at all. If I am a player, actually, in the dressing room, I won't understand what he's saying.
No. And you know what, Ali, it'd be disastrous as well because what they lost last year, the money-wise, if they don't get the Champions League, and now this is the push they
100%.
need. And the players don't want to be
100%.
not playing in the Champions League.
You like his communication, Ray?
No, not at all. I look, there's times when your body's going through it, but I seem to find something different. You put that shirt on, you get out there. You don't want to let your teammates down.
What you're going to do within the next few games until the end of the season will change your next season.
100%.
So you have to react right now.
Do you want to play on a Thursday night or Wednesday night or Tuesday night?
Well, I'll tell you what we've got. We've got somebody, an unhappy Blues fan, giving us a call, and it's Ron. Ron's dialed 03717 223344. Ron, I'm guessing you're not a happy camper this morning.
Absolutely, Ali. Absolutely. Season ticket holder for 40 years. But watching that game on Saturday, it was embarrassing. I switched off with half an hour to go. There was no passion. There was nothing. Liam Rossini, when he got taken on, I thought he'd been intelligent, fresh, new ideas. There was a shot of him during the PSG game on the touchlines on Wednesday. He looked like a rabbit caught in the headlines. I thought I was watching Watership Down. It was embarrassing. You know they say a team's got to have a good, strong spine.
Yeah.
We got a spine of a 90-year-old with slipped discs. That all the fans have known the keeper is not up to. We've known for 2 years.
Yeah. Ron,
why are they persevering?
It's strange, Ron, because, I mean, the PSG thing, for example, I think that can happen because PSG, I think they've proved it, one of the best teams in the world. I think that can happen.
Superb side.
But I'd be more concerned, in fact, really concerned about the weekend.
Well, yeah, Everton, there was no passion. There was nobody geeing them up. The old days like Lampard and Terry saying, come on, get on with it. Nobody. Absolutely no. They're a bunch of kids led by a kid. And to give them excuses they're tired is not good enough. These fans are spending hundreds following them up and down the country, and to come out with that gibberish is pathetic. I'd get rid of him now. I'm sorry to say that. Get somebody like John Terry in. I know he's got no experience, but at least he'll grab him by the neck and say, look, show some passion.
Ron, let me ask you something, mate. You've said you'd get rid of him, which you're more than entitled to your opinion. Were you for getting rid of the last fella?
Maresco, yes. He wasn't really relating to the fans. He was very up and down. We've had no passion there on the management side for years. I think an average fan could pick a better team. Get rid of a keeper, get someone like James Trafford in. I like the kid centre-half at Sunderland, Ballard, big, strong guy. Fafana's a disaster waiting to happen. fullbacks don't take the ball on the half turn. Gusto, every time he gets the ball, he's passing it backwards. And on Saturday, he was watching, like these old folks playing walking football where you're not allowed to run. It was like that. It's embarrassing.
Ron. Hey, Ron, don't go knocking that. That was me the last 4 years of my career, mate. Right? Just.
Yeah, but you had some passion. There was not one guy showed any passion on Saturday. Casado, and one of the things, there's too much dissent in the team. I think if these players get booked for dissent, fine them a week's wages, put in their contract. Every other player is just getting booked, and he's one booking away from a 2-game ban.
Yeah.
Fernandez is already, I think, mentally he's left.
Looks at Ron.
He doesn't want to be there.
No, I'll tell you one thing I'd say, mate. I hope in the upcoming weeks the players show as much spirit and fight as you've done. That was a great call, mate. Ron. Thanks a lot, pal. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Up next, we're moving from one disaster to another. We're going to be talking Tottenham. Oh, no.
After 2 decent results in a row, has Igor Tudor earned his stay of execution at Tottenham until the end of the season? Well, Drive presenter and expert striker Darren Bent certainly thinks so.
The performances before that, I mean, the 6 before that, oh my God, 6 straight losses in a row. I thought, what's going to happen here? Like, where's it going to end? And they put in a decent performance against Liverpool. And as you said, they beat Atletico in the second leg. And they have got confidence now because that's 2 unbeaten now. In all competitions, 2 unbeaten. The game on Sunday's the one. It's so big. But clearly now that Igor Tudor is going to be here for the foreseeable now. That he's here to the end of the season.
Yeah.
I can't see them making a change now this season because you've seen...
If they were to lose Forest, lose away at Sunderland, he'd still be there.
Potentially, yeah. I think so.
Very interesting. Spurs Nottingham Forest on Sunday is absolutely gigantic. So would you agree with Darren Bent there? Have we seen enough that's been good from Igor Tudor?
That was a brilliant point away at Liverpool. And the game in midweek, which I watched, I thought there was a lot more spirit, a lot more, really wanting it more for if you're a Tottenham player. So they've got to take that now into this game on Sunday against Forest. Look, Forest will know they're coming off that win as well. They'll be really happy with how they got the result away from home. They'll probably sit back Forest and try and hit them on the break, but they've got good players as well. Gibbs White, Adore. Jesus up front, Anderson in midfield. So they've got a decent squad of players itself. So it's going to be an interesting game. But I think the first goal is, I know it's an old cliche. First goal is going to be really important in that game. If Forest can somehow nick it, then you can see the fans really getting a little bit frustrated. But one thing about the fans the other night, they really, really got behind the team.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until 93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Okay, loving the show this morning, Monday the 23rd of March. It's exactly 9:34. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will without doubt our friends, good friends there, have the car for you. Excuse me, Ali Rain Emmanuel with you this morning. It was another damning defeat for Spurs and Nico yesterday afternoon. Just how costly could that 3-0 defeat at home to Forest be in their battle to avoid the drop? Home defeat, wait for it, number 54 since the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium opened in 2019. And that's not all. The bad news is our stats guys have been up to their work this morning. They're the only team in the Premier League without a single league win in the 2026 calendar year. Their home record is the worst in the Premier League this season, having won, are you ready for this, 2 of 16 games. They're currently on a 13-game streak without a win, the worst run in the club's Premier League history. Dear me. Reshman hosts a deep dive into Spurs' struggles and the potential cost of relegation this week. Wednesday from 7pm kickoff. A special look at Spurs on talkSPORT. Do not miss it. Or if you are a Spurs fan, do miss it. No, I'm only kidding on. Actually, it will be well worth a listen. Manu, I mean, I was one of these guys, and I don't know whether you're the same, maybe about a month, 5 weeks ago, I'm thinking, Spurs better be careful, you know, but thinking deep down that they'll be fine. I didn't think there was a chance, right? The last 2 weeks, the last 10, and I was totally wrong, because they are in serious trouble.
Condition, yeah. And it's getting worse and worse game after game, so... I heard what people said about the game in midweek against Atletico. You know, I think that was probably one of the best games so far this season for Spurs. And people were saying, yeah, this is exactly what we are expecting, you know, against Nottingham. This game, big game, you know. And I thought to myself, but this is a different environment. They had nothing to lose against Atletico because they knew that if they had to come back in this game, with a slightest chance, you know, to qualify, that would be a miracle. So no pressure at all. Against Nottingham, in front of their own fans, the pressure was so high, and they always, every single time they had to play under pressure, they crash. Simple as that. So I don't know how to explain that because it's been the case for the last 2 seasons.
It's remarkable.
I have no idea. When you look at the players, when you look at what they've done in the past, their quality, I have no idea why they are in this position. But yeah, I agree with you. When you look at the schedule of the game, when you look at the dynamic of this team, they are in a real danger.
I think it's a little bit like Chelsea. Do you see the spirit from the team? I saw a little bit at Atletico, but as Manu says there, I mean, there was no pressure on them really, was there?
No.
Go out, get a win. Realistically, the fans didn't think they'd get through.
You know something? I was at the first game in Madrid. I actually could not. I genuinely could not believe what I was watching. The goals they lost, 3-0 down. Goalkeeper getting substituted after 50 minutes.
10 minutes.
It just looked an absolute shambles.
Yeah. But again, the players have got to look at it. It can't always be the manager's fault.
I'm with you.
The players. I mean, the fans are playing their part now. Because you go to Spurs, they're playing their part. Yesterday, first half, they really got behind the team. When they turned up and they're all outside the stadium, really like cheering them on.
They had a go.
So they're really having a go. They're doing that. They're playing their part. The fans are, but the players are not responding to it, are they? And Forest are a decent side on paper.
Yeah.
I mean, they look more organised. They look like got an identity there. I'm not knocking Sean Dyche or anything like that, but they look like they know exactly going forward they can nick goals.
The one thing about Forest, I thought Forest's problem might be lack of goals. Certainly wasn't the case yesterday, and I'm led to believe Wood's come back as well, so I think he might have played in the reserves in midweek, Chris Wood, so that would be a real bonus for them getting back. Anyway, we're going to move on. It's now time for a bit of this.
Look, a brilliant ball to Petit. What a goal for Arsenal. Emmanuel Petit scores a fabulous goal.
I want you to believe that they are bold, they have the strength, the quality to win the title. I'm so tired of it.
Welcome to Petit's Perspective with World Cup winner Emmanuel Petit.
Just smash them,
As if you hadn't done enough.
Just do it.
As if you hadn't done enough.
Simple as that.
You've got your own section now in talkSPORT. I mean, just the helter skelter.
You know you cracked it when you got your own
that
section.
rise to the top. It just keeps on coming.
Yeah, I know that sometimes I go over the limit, and
but we like that.
I
We
have
don't
to
mind
apologise for that.
We don't like that. We don't mind that, mate. That's right. It's time for a brand new feature, Petit's Perspective. We were putting the big talking points to the man of the week, to the man who's won the law. Let's start. And here's an interesting one. We're going to start with Arsenal and Bukayo Saka, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have said for weeks, I love Bukayo Saka.
Me too.
Right? I do.
Me too.
However, I think the form has dipped a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe.
Did you hear what Piers was saying? He is tired. Tired of what? He's been injured so many times. He had a proper pre-season preparation, a vacation. So I don't know what happened. Is it because of the new players came into the team that it's been challenging?
Is he missing Odegaard a little bit?
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is. I just think it's a drop in form, right? I think it's
can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah, I just think I don't know whether it's a confidence.
What would
thing.
you do, Ali? If you're
I'd have played Madueke.
Yeah, if you're manager, would you leave him out for a few games?
I maybe would.
Put the arm around him and say, look, you
super sub.
I maybe would, because I think you've got to pick the strongest team. We can argue about the goalkeeping position, but I think at this moment in time, now you two guys know far more about the Arsenal I'll ever know. I think Madueke deserves a starting position more than most in that particular position. I think, and I'll go even over to the other side, I think Madueke will give you more on that side than perhaps Trossard. I don't know about Martinelli's another. I think he'd do a little bit more game time, certainly more than Saka. No?
I think another problem would be the skipper at the moment, isn't he? Odegaard's out. Can you leave your skipper out? Can you, Manu? Would you leave Patrick Vieira out?
Is it
if he was dropping off his form?
Yeah.
It might be,
And you may right, Ray, because the link between Odegaard and Saka was tremendous for the last 2-3 seasons.
Key.
And they're missing each other, on the pitch.
But let's answer the question. Are we leaving him out? I think you've got to. I really do. Do you know something? Because I think actually it might benefit the team and him at the same time. If you get him out for a couple of games, listen, we know.
It's a big decision to make.
He's a fantastic
at this
player.
stage of the season. No?
He's a fantastic player and will continue to be a great player. But at this moment in time, I just think he might be needing taken out.
Yeah, but I don't know how you go around taking him out because he don't want to be taken out. And then he's the skipper of the club. at the moment because Odegaard's out.
But
It's a really hard one to do. It's a really hard decision to make.
We've just agreed that the most important thing's the team.
Yeah.
Right? So if it is for the benefit of the team, as tough a decision it is, it has to be made. No?
Well,
I'm detecting you two don't want to leave Saka. I've got that right.
Well, I think it's a tough one to call. It is one of the biggest decisions Arteta's had to make, if he does, if I'm being honest. He's done it before. He has left him out before. When Odegaard was in, playing on a regular basis, when he was skipper, he's left him in and out and whatever. But it all falls on his shoulders at the moment. Now, he's desperate for a goal. Now, I had him down to score yesterday. I thought this might be the chance. He gets back into... And I think he's lacking that little bit of confidence, I must admit. I think, and it happens in football. He's still a young lad. A lot has happened in his career. So I know.
Ray,
people forget how old he is.
Yeah.
He's only 23, 24.
No,
he's still young.
He's been tremendous.
You're saying that he's desperate for a goal. I agree, but I think he's not even making a difference, on the pitch, Saka.
Well, you can fault him on the second goal.
In terms of movement, he doesn't bring anything at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that respect, then they should be maybe give him a little rest then.
Yeah.
And for the next game.
And taking that.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting what sort of side he puts out against Southampton, because now Southampton's a massive game. And Southampton are flying, by the way, in the Championship. That's not an easy game.
They're all massive.
What does he do now? Does he play his strongest side against Southampton? Because he knows he's got Sporting in midweek after. So
the only thing I would say where I think Arsenal is slightly different, certainly to the vast majority of teams in the league, if Arsenal make a change, I don't think there's a dramatic drop in standard. Whether it's Madueke,
Capia, Calafiore,
Calafiore, and Capi, or Timber, White. I genuinely don't think
they're still strong defensively.
Yeah.
The problem is up front.
Well, that was it. I thought that was really evident yesterday.
Well, we did Thierry Henry inside, Manu. Or Nicholas Anelka, as we mentioned earlier.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah, Dennis Bergkamp.
Is he available?
I love it.
Where is Dennis?
I'm moving swiftly. I've got another one for you. John Obi Mikel made the headlines for these comments about Arsenal and Mikel Arteta 2 weeks ago. Have a listen to this.
For me, it's a cheat. They've cheated their way to winning the Premier League. So I wouldn't recognize them as winners, because for me, it's illegal the way they're winning games. It's illegal. Unless the Premier League right now, from this weekend, stamp that out. We don't want to see that in the game.
So if you were playing for Arsenal, asked by Arteta, these are the tactics and this is what I want you to do, you'd say, that's not my style of football, I can't do that.
No, you can't, because he spent $1 billion.
You would not go with Arteta's tactics?
No, when I look at the team, there's so much creativity in that team. So much creativity. Eze, Odegaard, Saka. Let them express themselves. When you watch them, they're so rigid.
What's another garbage? I'm sorry. He was a top player, but I don't know what road he's going down there.
Well, it's nonsense, right?
Well, set plays win your games and lose your games. Well, so there's nothing wrong with set plays.
The last time I looked, set plays were part of the game.
Oh, of course they are.
And then I'll be brutally honest, and you don't need me to stick up for Arsenal. I'm at the game in midweek, the Champions League game, and they scored 2 wonder goals, right? Wonder goals. Eze scores that goal, and obviously
beautiful goal, yeah.
It was absolutely superb. I think the three of us know football.
I don't know what he means by cheating. What's that bit?
I don't know. I think that's maybe the wrong term, right?
It's part of the game, don't score on free kick and corner.
I don't know. I don't get the cheating bit.
Well, the question to the two of you is this, right? Does it really matter at this stage how Arsenal got over the line?
No.
For me, no.
Not at all.
Of course it doesn't.
But for those who don't want Arsenal to win, yes.
Yeah. 97-98, Manu, we didn't play brilliant every game, but we got results.
Yes.
Didn't we?
I mean, even the Invincible team, they draw so many games. Yeah. They play badly sometimes and they got some points. And they won the title.
And nobody remembers it.
Yes.
All they remember is Invincible's title.
You don't analyse every game after you win that trophy. When you pick it up, you don't go, oh, remember Fulham away? We was terrible.
Yes.
We should have lost that game. You cheated. We won score from a set play. You don't remember that. It's all about winning football matches and winning a trophy. In 10 years' time, if they win it this year, we look back and say they won it in 25-26. No one says how you done it.
No. How to win's important, but not as important as winning.
Look, ideal world, you want to win playing great football every week,
do.
but it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't happen like that.
Doesn't work.
We're in the home straight, guys. Thanks for your company. It's 9:46. Stay with us.
kids, for them last night, horror show. The Wi-Fi didn't work.
Oh my goodness!
I got in.
Panic stations.
As I walked through the door, my eldest, not hello, daddy, my eldest, Wi-Fi's down, and I went, "Can I get through the door first?" Okay, yeah. Little one comes down. Not little anymore, but come on, no Wi-Fi. And I went, "Can I walk in?" All right. Let's get in. I have something to eat. If you fix the Wi-Fi, by the way, I get a text.
Yeah.
A text from my 14-year-old who's upstairs, can't bother to come down. A text, come downstairs. Is the Wi-Fi working? So I text back, "Can you come down if you want to talk to me?"
Yeah.
Comes down. Oh, is it? Because I can't get... No, it's not. It's not us. It's Virgin. It will be fixed. Just wait.
Yeah.
This morning, first thing, no Wi-Fi, still not ready.
So what did you watch last night on TV?
That's a very good question. We had stuff on the planner already saved.
Yeah.
You've got Sky Glass, right?
So if Wi-Fi goes down...
You're in a world of trouble. I've got stuff saved on my planner.
Would you
I tell you what, I was watching the football, but Mrs. G was watching the end of... I gave up on that. What's that programme called with the woman from Yellowstone?
Oh, the Salt Marsh.
Yeah, I gave up. Episode 3, nothing was happening slowly. I thought, no, not for me.
It's slow, man.
Yeah.
And even I watched all the episodes, and even at the end, I'm a bit like, what have I just watched?
Yeah, I gave up. She was watching it.
Football was good, though. But no, do you know what? I bet that was quite nice, though. No Wi-Fi.
Well, it was, up until every 4 minutes, I had like, still not working.
Just relax. Listen, you should have hit him with a... You know you should have hit him with the... When we was younger, there was no such thing as Wi-Fi.
I know. I'm going to have to use my data up. Okay, talkSPORT breakfast. We're in the home straight, lads. Last 10, Ali, Emmanuel and Ray with you this morning. We're going to roll back the years, 26 to be exact, when a certain Ray Parlour did this. Yeah, here we go.
Here's Parlour. It's bending, it's in! And Parlour is looking for more here. And he's got more! Kanu. Parlour's on the move, and he's onside. He's never scored a hat-trick for Arsenal. They'll never have a better chance. He's got it!
Right. I don't want to put your gas at a peep, right? I think you're lucky with the third one. The three.
Hey, do you know that game was Werder Bremen away, and do you know who got sent off in that game, Manu?
You played in it, Manu?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who got sent off?
I'm guessing it was for Bremen.
No. Then we got battered towards the end. We just about held on, didn't we?
Was it Dennis? No.
Thierry got sent off. Thierry got sent off in about the 70th minute.
What for?
I don't know. I mean, he was. I think he was dissent or something like that. He maybe got a yellow card, 2 yellows, but he was sent off in that game.
Is that you?
And we was backs.
That's why you score a hat trick.
Yeah, great hat trick.
Backs against the wall. We won 4-2, just about got through, and we got to the final that year, didn't we? To who did we play in the final? Galatasaray, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we lost on penalties.
Yeah.
Your first one was
Copenhagen.
Your first one was a belter. Can outside the right tab, was it?
But yeah, I mean, the pitch weren't the best, was it? I mean,
No.
he was a bit bumpy. He might have hit a bump as I hit it. Did you know when it just tees up nicely for you?
Oh, come on, we'll try and get you a big cheer here.
No,
Right.
no, I don't want all that.
It's time for a bit of this. Let's finish with a bit of this. Yes, you've got it, guys. It's exactly 80 days. 80 days.
Oh.
80 jours. Until the start of the World Cup. So let's have a little chat about that to end the show. Manu, here we go. First question. It's written down in front of me. I'm going to have to ask it. Have England got what it takes to win the World Cup?
Well, it was the same question, when it comes on big tournaments. I think, obviously they have a chance. But I was wondering why England, since 1966, never won the World Cup anymore and our European tournament. Is it because of the identity of the club, or sometimes somewhere bigger than the national team? The ego of the players, when it comes to the national teams? That was the problem as well, for Spain for years, and they solved it.
Manu, what do you think about he's picked 35 players for the squad? Now,
how many?
35. Don't you think we should
still play at?
Don't you, Manu? Don't you think we should still be picking a smaller squad and working with the players before the World Cup? Look, does that show you that he doesn't really know who or the certain players he doesn't know to take?
I think
that's
so,
a squad. It's amazing.
35 players.
Yeah, that's why we got a chance.
Oh, the bottom line is,
playing 13 players.
I mean, how many can you take nowadays?
26, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's.
So you got 11.
I think you're right, huh?
Yeah, 26.
You still have question about something.
You must have still. Yeah. I don't know really who I can take or can trust. I think the 11 players who have been left home, haven't they?
Well, I'll tell you the obvious one that sticks out would be Trent. Now, I did say last week.
He's left out.
I did say I didn't fancy him to get in the squad. I just don't think he fancies him, and that's been proved. It looks like it's all over for him.
All I'll say about Tuchel is that he won't take no. He'll pick who he thinks is on form. He won't worry about what your name is or how big you are for the country. He will go with who he thinks is the right team and the right balance of the team. So in that respect, we have got still fantastic.
Foden is not in the list.
No, Foden's he's
not
banging.
there.
No, he's there. Sorry, he's there.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Foden's
Foden.
there.
He's not in the list, but he is in it actually. No, he is. No, he is.
He's
he is in the bottom. Yeah. Foden's, but that's a great question. What's happened to Phil Foden? What has happened?
I don't know.
I mean, there was talk early on in the season, and it was me that was saying it. They had some unbelievable number 10s.
He had that period, didn't
he? Foden, Palmer, Rodgers, Bellingham, and there's nobody outstanding.
Rodgers.
Do you know what I mean? Man, what I'd say to you is this. I think I'm right in saying Germany might be the only team that's won a World Cup, certainly in the Americas. Is it going to be a European team that will win it? How are France looking? Is Spain still be strong, I would imagine?
I think after 20 years, Argentina won the last World Cup. It was obviously a trophy that was meant to be for European countries. So I think we will see always the same countries, competing, for the trophy. Probably 6-7 teams,
Yep.
Maybe we will see a surprise as well. But, I bet on the aura of some players, in the national team, just like Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, with Portugal. That would be his last tournament. It would be the same last tournament for Messi with Argentina.
Harry Kane, probably.
Yes, Harry Kane too.
Imagine 32. Maybe 36. Maybe he goes on.
We've not even spoken about him.
Well, he's been on fire.
He's
unbelievable.
He was right to leave Spurs.
Huh? Of course it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
He's going at the weekend again. Absolutely.
Have you ever seen him playing in the Premier League again?
No.
I think he might have a year there to finish. I don't see him coming.
Why is that? He's enjoying his football,
Oh, he's loving it.
He's not far to break Lewandowski record as well.
Well, he's still got Alan Shearer's to break as well.
That's the only reason.
For that.
What's
he behind? 40 odd?
Yeah. And
is it more important, Ray, that break on records or win titles?
Oh, definitely titles.
Well, to be fair, and I know Alan Shearer wants him to stay in Germany for his life.
he might come back to Arsenal, who knows?
Manu, listen, been great having you
Guys,
this
it was
morning.
great to
Is
see
life,
you, Manu.
life good? Life in general great? You're in good form? Everybody's smashing?
South of
So
France.
far, so good.
South of France.
Yeah.
I told you I'm heading over there. I've got a couple of days in Paris, then I went to Coach Vernier run about Chambord region.
Oh, Ali.
Oh, we'll get the we'll get the oyster.
You need a bigger safe, I told you.
Just have a glass of wine.
No, he needs a bigger safe.
You better believe it, mate. Manu, thank you very much.
You take care,
Your company.
guys,
You two absolutely
LA,
loved
top
it this
man.
morning. I hope you guys have loved it as much as we have. It's been a fantastic show this Monday, the 23rd of March. Stay tuned because coming up, the Arsenal Inquest, I don't have any doubt, will continue with Jim, Simon and Martin.